no gimmicks. Ain't no rush, we drifting, yeah. Drifting. Got that old soul feeling it, yeah. It's that vintage, yeah. Slow wine, no limit, no limit. Whole vibe authentic, yeah. You don't find this every minute, yeah. She move like a record on replay, slow. Warm like the summer, but the nights stay cold. Silk on the skin, got the lights down low. Whole room froze when she walked in the door. Ain't loud with it, she subtle and rare. Tight, make a boss man stop and just stare. No games, no front, just truth in the air. Old school energy, you know it's there. It's that Genesis vintage, yeah. Vintage, yeah. Real soft touch, no gimmicks, yeah. Ain't no rush, we drifting, yeah. Got that old soul feeling it, yeah. No filter needed, she glow off top. Natural shine, make the whole room stop. Ain't about trends, she already hot. Timeless vibe, can't duplicate that. Slow conversation, she leaning close. Voice like honey, got a velvet tone. Every move smooth, never do the most. Type of energy you feel in your bones. Take it back. Way before the fast life, when it meant something, yeah. It's that Genesis vintage, yeah. Vintage, yeah. Real soft touch, no gimmicks, yeah. Ain't no rush, we drifting, yeah. Got that old soul feeling it, yeah. That timeless, yeah. You don't rush that. You let it ride. Vintage, yeah. Vintage, yeah. Real soft. Don't rush that. Oh, so like that. Smooth. Yeah. That old feel, that timeless. You know what it is. That's that Genesis vintage, yeah. Vintage, yeah. Real soft touch, no gimmicks, yeah. No gimmicks. Ain't no rush, we drifting, yeah. Drifting. Got that old soul feeling it, yeah. It's that vintage, yeah. Slow wine, no limit, no limit. Whole vibe authentic, yeah. You don't find this every minute, yeah. She move like a record on replay, slow. Warm like the summer, but the nights stay cold. Silk on the skin, got the lights down low. Whole room froze when she walked in the door. Ain't loud with it, she subtle and rare. Tight, make a boss man stop and just stare. No games, no front, just truth in the air. Old school energy, you know it's there. Take your time, yeah. Don't rush, yeah. It's that Genesis vintage, yeah. Vintage, yeah. Real soft touch, no gimmicks, yeah. Ain't no rush, we drifting, yeah. Got that old soul feeling it, yeah. No filter needed, she glow off top. Natural shine, make the whole room stop. Ain't about trends, she already hot. Timeless vibe, can't duplicate that. Slow conversation, she leaning close. Voice like honey, got a velvet tone. Every move smooth, never do the most. Type of energy you feel in your bones. Take it back. Way before the fast life, when it meant something. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's that Genesis vintage, yeah. Vintage, yeah. Real soft touch, no gimmicks, yeah, 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 yeah. Ain't no rush, we drifting, yeah. Got that old soul feel in it, yeah. That timeless, yeah. You don't rush that, you let it ride. Vintage, yeah. Real soft. Don't rush that. Oh, so like that. Smooth.
Sugar, did you hit the like button on the way in? What? I thought we are friends. How you doing today? Are you liking what I'm doing so far? Then let me know. Then hit the like button. I wanna thank you, yeah, you. Thank you for chilling, thank you for stopping by, and thank you for sharing the love. I'm so glad we came together to converse and chop it up and break it down. So come and talk to me. I promise to bring good content if you promise to hit the notification like they are free, like do that for me, like they are free, like it's easy, you'll see, like comment, share and subscribe.
Hey sugars. Hey sugars. I look really extra glowy since I've been using my Metacube stick. So I just have to deal with the glow because I'm gonna be glowing all night long. I don't know who's in the building just yet, but welcome. Welcome to Sugarland. Welcome to Genesis. My two top. Okay. Welcome to Genesis After Dark. Before and after dark. Not quite dark yet. We're going to get there. It is approximately 8:11 on my end of the world. And it was nice outside. It's going to rain in a little bit, or it looks like it's been raining. It's been kind of sprinkling off and on. So hopefully, it'll be a nice, cool evening. I even had to turn like the air on for a second because I was getting warm, but I think maybe that's just my old ladiness kicking in. I'm going to get up and turn the TV down in a second because it's very loud in my ear. But today, y'all, we might have a little serious show. It might get, I don't know. We're going to see where it's going because there's a couple people that are live right now. So I hope I'm not fighting for viewers. However, I'm also streaming over on Facebook. I'm going to go on Facebook and see what that looks like. I usually click over there and see what it looks like. So I hope you guys enjoy the show. The link is pinned. The topic today is the age of consent, the uncomfortable conversation. I'm going to talk about, I want to go over it, and I feel like every content creator should do their just due diligence by covering this topic. So there's other stuff to cover. I might just jump on another panel in a couple hours after we get this one started. Who knows? We'll see. I usually don't have anything ever written down, but I do want to take notes, right? And I do have some questions. So we're gonna see. Shout out to anyone who is coming in, anyone who's viewing. So we're gonna come back to talk about the age of consent, and I hope you guys stay till the end. And the link is pinned, so if anyone wants to come up and talk about it with me, by all means, please join the conversation. I have quite a few videos. They're very short, so don't worry. And we're gonna get into it, you guys. So welcome to the show, guys. Thanks for coming by.
For the show to start, welcome to Genesis After Dark. Like a man and stay till the end. Let's turn up and have some fun. I'm Genesis and it's After Dark. Can we talk about what's been on my heart and my mind? While we build this one brick at a time. While I'm sitting at the wall, I get to think, you know, this world can be a crazy place, and when there's nowhere to go, our health is right in our face. Can we talk about it? Can we chat about the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit? And blah, blah, love. Let's live it like, let's live it and finding the one. Let's do it. We are gonna pray the enemies away. Purpose day, can I stay? No weapon and will never come our way. We can be in a talking point. We don't even have the curse to make a point. Break down your question, all thoughts and feelings. Listen to each other truly. I can't do this solo. I know I'm not alone. I got all of y'all and that means you.
So support, you know what to do. Hit the cash app, Genesis I am 74702. Put your thumbs up, and like if you do, drop your thumbs down. I won't be mad at you. Come in peace and let's chop it up.
Hit my panel with intellect and respect. Drop wisdom and that we will never forget.
So please, come, please, I wanna hear from you. And subscribe, like and subscribe, cause I'm a whole vibe.
So are you.
So hey, sugar, so may come in and subscribe. You're a whole vibe. Come in and subscribe.
Whole vibe. Come in and subscribe. You're a whole vibe. Come in and subscribe.
Hey, sugars. We're back. So, where's my drink? Hold on. Let me grab my drink. I actually have to go potty real quick. I've been holding it. I gotta pee. Too much information. Sorry. Okay. All right. So now we are here. How y'all doing? Who all? How y'all? Who all? How y'all? Who all? All right. Let me get a little comfortable here. There he goes. Her baby always wants to make sure that we know he's in the building, y'all. So in case anybody wanted to know what's going on, there's the fur baby. Should I put it like this, y'all? Does it make a difference? Oh, it does. Okay. Okay, that makes a difference. Okay, so it's too bright. What does it look like on the other side? Let me see. It is bright. All right, so then maybe that's okay. That looks better. I just don't want to like flush myself out, so then you can't actually see me. And then I go back and I look at my videos, and I'm like, man, it looked like it was a spotlight. 'Cause I don't like living under your spotlight. All right, so that's a really good brightness right there. Okay. All right. Shout out to Michigan Extract. Let me just, I have so many, before we get into it, what y'all been doing? What y'all been doing? What's today, y'all? Tuesday. Did anybody have tacos today? Taco Tuesday. Today's Tuesday, right? What y'all been doing today? What y'all do today? What you do today, cynical one? Did you what did you do? Did you go to work? Did you guys take care of your kids? What did you do today? I went to work. I came and I wanted some chicken so bad. I hardly ever, and I wanted some chicken, which is crazy. Um, oh, and so I went and got some chicken, and we have all through where I live and all the way down to Detroit. So you can go all the way down from your right here to all the way to Detroit. I'm all the way out in the suburbs, and you are definitely, definitely, definitely going to find um, some fried chicken somewhere. So I went and got some fried chicken. And I like fried chicken, and so does beans. And I'm lactose intolerant, so the only thing that I can ever enjoy really is like sometimes like mashed potatoes or sometimes even coleslaw, right? So macaroni salad, all that, right? Sometimes I can enjoy it because I have to be like really like make sure when I eat it, I have to make sure I'm at home, right? Make sure I'm inside my own place because it depends on how buttery and yummy they make it. I could be in for a uh I could be in for a present, right? So depends on how buttery. So actually sometimes the fast food versions of that food can do better in my body because it's not 100%, butter and milk. But nowadays everything's so messed up that a lot of times it is that it's butter and milk. I'm looking for my ibuprofen because I'm actually a little sore, and while I'm sitting here, I'm gonna take an ibuprofen. And I like the content creators that's like me. I like the people that's just natural online. I get it. You want to have a whole speech and stuff written out, but I don't have that. And so I'm gonna get into my TikTok bag too, guys, and make sure that I'm trying to cross over the two worlds because I've ordered a couple things off of TikTok. So I'm supposed to like do a review and let y'all know. But this lip gloss be banging, so I'm just gonna let y'all know now. If you're watching this later, TikTok, whoever made that lip gloss, thanks a lot because it is actually banging. It's actually really good. Everything else, oh, there's something else on TikTok that I got that was so awesome. But I was looking for my ibuprofen. I don't know why. I think I need to smell good when I sit here and talk to y'all. But here's a little Ariana Grande for you. It smells so good. Have you ever just sprayed perfume because it's just on your body or put a body oil or something on because it just smells so good, even if you had nowhere to go? I mean, have nowhere to go. I went from my car to my shower, well, to get the chicken, and then go to my shower to here to talk to y'all, and I still sprayed, oh, this perfume, and on top of the body oil lotion the body oil that I bought showered in, then layer that with the lotion that I have to have some sort of vanilla lotion. It has to be vanilla. Like anything else can be different, but the vanilla has to be in there somewhere. And even now, I'm finding more and more like body mist and hair sprays and body sprays that have vanilla in it. So I'm a vanilla girl. You will win every time with me, okay? I'm just saying, vanilla me, and I will be very grateful. So, but yeah, I had to get my ibuprofen real quick because I cleaned a huge house today, you guys. Look out for Confessions of a Cleaning Lady, okay? Um, I'm gonna speak that into existence. I don't know if they're gonna be like little short videos. I'm gonna do pre-recorded, right? Um, okay, so I'm gonna do pre-recorded and then I'll put them up, right, for you guys to see. And then whoever comes back and watches my videos later, you guys will enjoy those because I clean huge houses. Believe it or not, there are so many huge mansions and big properties here in Michigan that, I mean, the money is in the bigger homes. Just because they can't do it. And if you're like me, you was raised cleaning a big house. I was. So it's been big, a lot of people in my family, even my immediate family, since we were talking about that the other day. The In my immediate family, there's was 6 people, right? So that's a big enough house that is I guess I shouldn't take this online, huh? I don't know. I'm taking the ibuprofen online, but let me just calm down real quick. Mm, mm-hmm. Because I can feel my back. I can feel my back and my hips hurting right now, sitting here talking to y'all. Um, so I've always had a lot of people in my family, and then, like we talked about before, about relatives. Unlike other cultures, my black family has cousins, so there were cousins everywhere. And then, of course, we all of us had friends and best friends, and so it was a lot of people all the time. So we lived in a big house. Even we had an acre of land. It was just always a lot. So cleaning a big house for me as a cleaning lady, it's not a big deal. Um, it's just crazy to me how they can't figure out how to keep their house clean. That's what's really crazy. So that's what's really crazy. So I'm about to grab my. What did I do, y'all? Did I leave it? Oh, I left it over there. I'm gonna grab my phone because it's going off, and I'm gonna put this here for you guys. Let me put this down here at the bottom. There you go. And then we're gonna say this is an open panel, and we're also going to say Cash App ticks at the bottom. Before we get into anything, guys, we're going to let you know that if you want to support the show, you can always support my little show. I have 287 subscribers. Oh, well, 286 now because Laura ADS unsubscribed. So, um, hmm, I want to go to my Instagram real quick because I'm just gonna shoot the smack with you guys for a second. I also need to rack up watch time hours as well because I'm like I didn't even realize as much as I've been online that I didn't have that many. I was very shocked. So when I went to go look at when I went to go look at my where is it? When I went to go look at my analytics, I was just very shocked. So I actually look. I'm gonna have to do a beauty stream because I got this concealer foundation stuff, and I'm just like I'm looking at myself and I'm wondering, y'all can't even tell. You can't even tell. Okay, let me um let me do this. I want to go to my Instagram because I just maybe want to. Oh, what did I just do with it? There we go. Okay, so I can see you. I can see me, and let's see. Let me put this on in the back. I'm gonna be chilling here by myself. That's okay with my one little viewer. One view. All I got is one viewer. That's okay. So we will um I'm gonna do this though because I can't take the silence. So I think I like one of these I like. Oh, I like this one. That was not it. I think it was this one. Yeah. All right, so cool beans. Okay, so I gotta what did I do with it? Did he You know what? Let me just do this really quick for you guys, or whoever. It's pinned. I don't know. Just say that. All right, and I said this. Let me put it here. I do that. Okay. All right, let's go to my Instagram. Hey, before we get into some of this deep content, let me make sure I have it. Y'all, I've been seeing some crazy stuff online, you guys, and I need a little guidance. I need a little guidance on some of this. But before we get into it, I just want to give all praises be to God and let Him know that I am here for it. I am here for being blessed, and I'm here for all the blessings. Okay. It's been some crazy stuff going on, and I wanted to show some clips that I just be running across clips, and I just wanted to show this clip before I actually got into it. Let me turn the music down because y'all need to hear this one. Okay, let me go back to it. Hold on. All right, I have to show you this clip because this is hilarious, and I think it's bomb. And I think shout out to whoever was recording this. It looks like they was in church recording this. If they was inside the church while they was recording this, shout out to you. And I cannot wait for the full song. And I'm just letting you know now, I'm down for it. So let's go.
Who sent me this? Jesus. Jesus. Oh, I know the man who hard. I do. I tell you about the sun. No man know the hour. No man. Just be ready when he comes. He ain't coming like a thief. No need to get your gun. No, cause that can't help none. No, yeah, it's like a nun. Yeah. Say coming for the church. Without a spot, no a Ringo. That's for married and the single. When he pointed to bingo. If you had a lie like Nemo, trouble hit the hero. Fornication ain't legal. I'm up like an ego.
Come on. Jesus. Jesus.
This is hard.
Oh, Jesus. 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 I had to do it. Hey, it was so sweet.
What's going on?
I had to put a little Jesus and sprinkle that into the show first before we got started and put some blessing on it. that song is killing me.
Am I late?
No, I've been up here talking for about 20 minutes, just kind of giving my spiel about how I went to go get some fried chicken, and I just took a shower, and how I smell good. Because have you ever had a fragrance, like you own a perfume, or in your case, a cologne or a body lotion? Oh, Jesus, where you just, it smells so good to you. Like you don't even care if nobody else like it. You don't care if nobody else ever say you smell good. You don't care what nobody else think about you and your smell right now. That's how I was feeling about my little perfume that I love, that I always put on. And even though I could be going nowhere, do you know there are bedtime perfumes? There are colognes and fragrances you wear that are subtle with like high lavender, that have heavier, more scents that will relax you, that when you smell them, they calm you and they bring you down, bring you to a calmer state. So there are bedtime perfumes, and honey, I have one. I don't even know if it's a bedtime perfume, but I love it. It smells so good. I could just eat it. So yeah, that was my thing.
Oh, okay.
And then I had to play the video you walked in on. Jesus.
Oh, okay. So
Jesus.
we don't just rub Vicks around the neck no more. Okay.
Jesus. No, I mix my Vicks with some drops of essential oil, so it has a hint of effervescence in the background of my essential oil. Since I gotta smell like medicine, I just sprinkle a little, I get a little cute little essential oil. Yes, I just love the way I smell. So yes, what did you think about that video? I just did you hear it?
I came in. Yeah, I came in like midway through. What I was looking at is,
come on. Here, and since you're an artist yourself,
okay.
Let me go back to it. Oh, that you can't see that. That's for the fragrance.
Who sent me this?
Okay, so I
Yeah.
thought he was in the church. Somebody sent it to him, and he's stitching it. So shout out to you.
Jesus, Jesus. I know the man who hard. I do. I tell you about the song. No man know the hour. No man. Just be ready when he comes. He ain't coming like a thief. No need to get your gun. No, cause that can't help none. No, it's life like a nun. Say coming for the church. Without spot, no Ringo. That's married in the single. When he pointed you, bingo. If you had a lie like Nemo, trouble hit me, hero. Fornication ain't legal. I'm up like an ego.
Hey,
This is hard. Jesus.
That is my jam right now. I don't even know who that is, but I'm finna cop that whenever it come out. If I hear that on Spotify, I'm definitely that was fire. I like that. It was cute. That was a fire little clip.
I ain't mad at it. You know, if I was to be quite honest with you, that actually sound a lot better than what's typically out here today. So I mean, considering how you know what I'm saying, like how things are going, like I mean, at least that's something I know I wouldn't be mad at my daughter listening to, So yeah.
And you heard her. You came in the room. She was talking about Jesus. Oh, Jesus! You're like okay.
I
ain't mad.
would rather hear her saying that walking past the room as opposed to I got your man, B. Like I would much rather, so I ain't got no argument. I ain't got no arguments to that. If it's family friendly, then I'm all for it. But I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out. I'm gonna cam up in a second. Let me get myself together. Go ahead, keep on rocking out. I can hear you. I'm listening. I'm gonna turn my speaker up. No bullshit.
Okay.
All right,
Well, all right. So, hey, who is that? Oh, this is MacGyver. Here to support for a while. Thanks for coming over. Let me make sure I give a shout out before I start in on anything. And plus, I just kind of wanted to be a little silly before we got into this really serious part of of this conversation, for all those intents and purposes. Right? It is talking about the age of consent, but I want to say hey to the cynical one. Shout out to you. Let me go back and let me do this, because then I could and then I could go right here. Cynical one, shout out to you. Hey, what's up? Yay, thanks for coming. Of course that's me. I'm in my chat. And then Deuces MacGyver, thanks for coming over. Thanks for coming over. All right. We're going to get into a little of the seriousness, right? When we talk about things like the age of consent, because this was a conversation that resurfaced, resurfaced the other night over on the Drip Show. Was it Drip? My days are running together. Shout out to Drip. I actually have that video, but I don't have it. What you call it? Oh, I didn't get my phone, did I? I don't have it queued up, right? So we're just not going to worry about that. But those of you that were there and those of you that watched it or heard about it, this is a continuation of the conversation that was already had. So it got me to thinking a little more, right? I still didn't come get my phone. So it got me to thinking a little more and more on like what exactly are we arguing about, right? And then what are we arguing about in regards to like the law and what we don't know about the law? So there's quite a few things that's like crazy, like how long the age of consent law and rules and how long all this has been around. The other thing that's crazy is that there is a whole group of people out here also that are advocating for it in a way that is affecting the natural progression of young people and their exposure to love and their experiencing love, right? So that's just interesting because when we have all these conversations like the one we did the other day, we don't want to talk about anything else about it except for, has my daughter dating a 60-year-old man, my 19-year-old dating a 45-year-old man, or my, young, because even when we talk about it with the young boys, to let them know that, hey, you were preyed on and some older person, preyed on that you were younger, and that they, you had a whole relationship with them. For the boys, it seems to always be lopsided, right? It's like, oh, it's a little rites of passage. You knock that down, and but then, when I said my little 50-year-old self said something about a 30-year-old, 31-year-old man, they was like, girl, you don't quit going to the daycare. I was like, wait, okay, so if I'm 50 and he's 30, that 20-year gap was a lot. They're like, oh, no, that's too young for you. Even then, nothing else out there. Most of the guys I meet are even younger. So now that just makes me not, I mean, even though they're adults, so I don't have to worry about age of consent with them. It's just a question of like, we're arguing all these extra points about the fact that the person's older and they're manipulating. I don't know how I can manipulate a whole 30-year-old. So, now if I had a 20-year-old, you can probably consider that because I'm 50 years old. And you might consider that just because of how old we are. But for some reason, for whatever reason, we tend to, oh, it's a lot of lives tonight. Shout out to everybody that's live. So for whatever reason, we tend to conflate the two issues, the two concerns, right? The age gapping with the consent of the person's age. We're like, oh well, it could be a 30-year-old with a 16-year-old because the legal age in this state for a woman to be with a man intimately married or have intercourse with them is 16. So I just want to get into some of these videos. They're very short, so hold your attention. I kind of learned from Smitty, Smithocamus. I don't know, he doesn't have a last name, but we'll call him
Oh my
Smithocamus
goodness.
Bartholomew
We'll,
Smithocamus.
we'll work on that on the
Okay.
back end. No, we're gonna
Okay.
work
We'll
on
give
that on the
him
back.
Smithocamus Thurgood Livingston the Fourth.
We will talk about that on the back end. We will
So
work that
that's
out.
your scholar name, Smithocamus. I have to write that down. How do you
Goodness
spell that?
gracious.
Smithoc,
I'm not going to learn how to spell it.
Aucamous. Smithocamus. I spelled it out. Smithocamus. Hello, my name is Smithocamus. So Smitty said to keep it short and to try to keep everyone's attention.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? What's wrong with Smith Rodam? What is wrong with Smith Rodamus?
Because I don't know nothing about no Smith Rodamus. You a Smithocamus.
But I like Smith Rodamus. You know what? Just
when you call yourself that over there, over here, you are Smithocamus the Third, ladies and gentlemen. Smithocamus. Yeah.
Well, what if I just said, all right, bet over at my channel, you're Oxtail. Like
Oxtails.
Yeah.
Oxtails is good.
Nah, I mean, I'm just saying, like
the sun's going down, y'all. It's gonna get after dark. Okay. We're supposed to be serious now, okay?
All right.
Let's be serious and talk about.
I mean, how are we supposed to be serious with a name like Smithocamus? I mean, I don't even know how people don't take you serious. I don't even know how people.
Smithocamus the Third.
I like Smith Rodamus better. Anyway, go ahead and rock us.
That's like Jethro. Who is Smithro? That sounds.
No, Smith Rodamus.
Okay, so Smith
Fro. Yeah, like Afrodamus.
Right.
Yeah, Smith
okay, and you don't like
right.
Smith Talkamus.
Nah, that sounds like a
CAUCAMO.
rejected X-Men. Yeah, that sounds like the X-Men
It
character who
sounds like a
didn't make it.
dinosaur.
No. Really, it sounds like the Marvel character who didn't make it. Anyway, let me go grab my little wine and stuff. I'll be right back. Go ahead, keep talking. I can hear you. My speakers are up.
Awesome. See you when you return, Smith Talkamus.
I ain't gonna be for like 30 seconds. Go ahead.
I said I'll see you in return, Smith Talkamus. All right, let's get back into it. So see, you threw me all the way off because he didn't like my name. All right, let's turn back on my background music. Okay, so yeah, so it was a couple things I was like, okay, wondering about when we were going over, when they were talking about the age of consent, right? So one of the things, this thing has been around for a long, long time. Okay, so then we're arguing something that was before us, which is crazy, right? It's before any of us, actually, before our whole generation, right? And on top of that, it was created in such a archaic way. It was created for such an for such a crazy reason and such an archaic way that now we're arguing this in regards to the mental capacity, physical capacity of the individuals of that age today. So we're going to look at some things. I'm going to show y'all something because I remember I have a lot of things bookmarked from back in the day when I was going over this subject, and it's just interesting, y'all. So we're going to get into, let me go to my first video. I had to pull on that other crack up. That shit cracked me up. Let me go to my all right, so hold on. All right, so from what we know right now, as of this point right now, why is there an age of consent?
I'm
right?
back.
Did we ask that question? Did anyone ever ask when we talk about why there's an age of consent? Why is there, right? We're arguing this because we think that what happened? What is the reason why you think that there's an age of consent, Smitty? Are you there? You're not there? Okay, he said he was back, didn't he?
No.
Did he say that?
I'm up here talking on mute. Hold on. Ask the question one more time. You said, what's the age of consent? Where I'm at?
I said, what do you think is the reason for the age of consent?
You know something? That's actually a great angle question that I don't think has been asked often enough. Give me 1 second. I would say if I had to go with something, age of consent law.
Like, why do we have it?
You know what? I would say it is somewhat in correlation. If I had to take a blind historical guess, I would say it has something to do with the coming of manhood and womanhood, and the criterias that's involved with how we see it. And it's not just limited to, all right, you're old enough to hunt, you're old enough to tend to the fields, whatever it may be. You're also old enough to I guess procreate and marry. So I would say it has a lot to do with the coming of age is my point. I would say that's where the connection is, if I had to guess, but I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I stand on if I'm wrong and I correct it. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right,
that was a real salty okay. That was a salty okay.
Well, you're partially right and you're right in that in regards to back then, and that was where are we in? Are we in the 20th century? What century are we in now?
21st.
21st century. So that was a thing prior to us in this century, right? So the thing about it is the part right is because of the coming of age and who can be married and who can not be married.
Right.
So the age of consent laws have evolved over the centuries, and they're actually influenced by culture, social, and legal shifts, as well as traditional societies. So the fact that the culture itself requires a certain age to do what they do. So for people who are Christian and people who are Catholics, people who are of certain denominations, they believe their age of reasoning predicates the age of consent. Do you understand what I just said?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Oh, okay. So anybody out there listening is listening. Some people, some cultures believe that the age of consent should be based on what our faith, what our religion, and what our scripture says that is the age in which a child can understand what they're doing. Okay. So for that reason, certain cultures believe that the age of consent was based on their faith belief, right? So for example, Christians who believe in the Bible, the age of reasoning is 8, I believe. Okay. So I was gonna pull up this. I don't want to pull up the scripture. I'm gonna pull up the scripture. Well, according to the King James Version, a few scriptures talk about the age and how it doesn't specifically, well, it does say by the age, by a certain age. As far as how old a child is when they can understand what is right and wrong and what is going on around them, right? So for some people in that time past that time period, the age of reasoning is 8 years old. So therefore the age of consent was within that range, because obviously if you can understand what that means, then if you can understand what everything means, you are old enough to participate in other activities. And again, we also remember that back during that time period, adults were a lot younger, right? They were still, some people weren't even going to school. Some people were having fourth grade education legitly, because that's as far as they had gone, because they were actually out there working and working in the world, into the world. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, I don't want that video. Okay. All right. So can you hear me?
Yeah, nah, you
Hello?
were
Something?
you were slightly breaking up, but nah, I can hear you. It might be a slight delay. It's okay. Keep on going. You're clear enough.
Okay. All right. So that's just for an example. So we're gonna look at what Catholicism says about the age of reasoning, the age of consent, because it's also, again, that's the first leg of the age of consent. So we're not saying that it's okay to be doing anything with the young person, but I also understand sometimes when we have these conversations, we're having them from one particular little corner of a view, because we're not even considering, well, there are people out here, as much as we don't like it, they're marrying their young because that's what they've always believed in, and even down to their faith-based book, right? Because their Bible says the age of reasoning is 8 years old. I'm not doing anything wrong because God already said you're old enough to understand. So let's just see and hear for example, what Catholicism has said, right? There's other faith-based, but this is also one of the videos that I thought was pretty interesting, and what they thought about it. Because again, remember, my faith, Christianity, says I was old enough to know what was going on at 8.
I got a question for you real quick. Is that okay?
Yeah, I was trying to mute because Beans was barking, but what's the question?
Oh, okay. Just briefly before you push play. I'm pretty certain, and you know why I said now, I think, when I was like, nah, I think you should look at it first. Did you actually check out what I actually sent you? And I just wanted to know, maybe after this or at some point, um, what do you think about that? Yeah, because I'm sure you read
I'm gonna show you
how.
that video. I'm gonna show you that
Oh, okay,
video
okay. You
next
gonna play? Hey, listen, listen.
because
I
that
am
is going along the
simulcasting, and
lines
I
of
don't mind.
okay, because that goes along the lines of that's why I said first of all the
Yeah,
Christianity version of the age of reasoning and the age of understanding is 8 years old according to the Bible, and I think it starts like in the book of Kings, and there's a couple book First Corinthians that talks about how old a child is when they actually understand the world around them, right? So we
right,
don't ever incorporate that when we talk about why is this age of reasoning. I mean, this age of consent conversation. When we talk, we're only thinking about grown-ups messing around and hunching on little kids. But what we're arguing for is the fact that we're not arguing the fact that they've been doing this, right? Because again, our faith base believes that you are at the time damn near grown and you understand enough in the world at 8 years old. Okay. So just since we're going to talk about that Christian perspective, since I just said that, and I can go back and I have those scriptures if you wanted to reference them, and then we're going to talk about the Catholic understanding. We're going to go through a little timeline with him, and then we'll come right behind that with that Hebrew breakdown, and then I have another thing to show you.
Commenter asks me, Michael, what is the age of consent in the Catholic Church? So the question is about the age of consent according to Catholicism, and this has varied at different periods in church history. For example, at the time of the medieval period with Thomas Aquinas says that the age of consent is 14 for a male and 12 for a female, although he also argues that if the people reach puberty prior to those ages and consummate a marriage prior, they do contract a valid marriage and their union cannot be annulled. So he sees the question as really based on puberty, but a good rule of thumb, he wants to say, is 14 and 12. Whereas later, the Code of Canon Law has somewhat modified that, and the code currently states in Canon 1083, a man before he has completed his 16th year of age, and a woman before she has completed her 14th year of age cannot enter into a valid marriage. So for the Catholic Church in the Code of Canon Law, 16 and 14 are the ages that contract a valid marriage, but it does appear in church history the age has varied and sometimes can go lower than that, and really is conditioned upon puberty, as we see with Thomas Aquinas in some cases.
What you think about that, Smitty?
right,
So far, it's based
so
on puberty, with the exception of them
right,
adding amending the Canaan law that came in and decided no, that's puberty can be vary, right? Puberty can vary because the kid can be 10 and be going through puberty. So to be
right.
on the safe side, we're going to say 16 for a male. What do you say? 14 for a male and 12 for a female.
So this is where I am with it. If I was to give my, all right, so even down to what I sent you, if we were to really trace back on to any of these historical beliefs of religion as far as the coming of age, there we go. That's what I meant to say the first time. The coming of age. The fact is, you cannot find a culture, you can't find a religion, you can't find a history background that did not agree with that at once upon a time. What we have to recognize is that we have made adjustments. And as much as we have made adjustments, what were you telling me about Pakistan? What were they trying to abolish?
The age of consent.
Right.
And 2026. As early as 2021. I've been working on it for the past couple years.
Okay. So So we have
So,
over there in the
and they
Middle
also
East,
believe in the age of reasoning. Hmm.
right? So we have in the Middle East that. But even if we were to come back to this Western country, Jen, could you help me just in case my mind is messing with me right now, about how many states when we were on shout out to Drip and Shanika, about how many states were shown to be the legal consent is 14 to 16? Was it 30 something?
It's
If I'm not mistaken,
33. There's 33.
30,
There's
33
33.
states. Is that right now in
Uh-huh.
2026 in this country?
And 2026, I got something else for you for that. That is, some
Mm-hmm.
things haven't changed, right?
Right.
Unfortunately, some people are arguing it to be lower. And in between the time that we've initiated this age of consent and now, um, they've amended the age of consent. So just to go into line of what you're saying here. So if you look at this map, what does that say in front of you, Smitty?
Hold on. You listen. I ain't gonna lie. You gotta take the fair use down because it's kind of blocking some stuff. If you don't mind, yeah, just so I can see. Oh, if
Oh,
you can
it's
switch it
blocking
up.
the bottom.
Yeah, it's blocking. I can't read
Oh,
everything.
hold on.
The fair use sign.
Oh, the
Yeah,
fair
there we
use.
go. Okay,
All right,
there we
well,
go.
fair
There
use,
we go.
fair use. All right,
Fair
let me
use, fair
blow it up.
use.
So, map of consent since 1860, 1885, because remember I said this has been around since forever, right? It's been around since 1800s. And 2014. At that point, and this is 1885, it was 10
Okay.
and 12. So that
Wow.
correlates, unfortunately, with what your question just now. You was like, hold on, what they doing over there? Because their age of consent is 9 in Afghanistan. They lowered it. They're one of the groups of individuals who worked to campaign to lower it. And
Right.
then on top of that, remember this goes according to a lot of the country at the time was had a certain faith base. Most of them were Christians, so there were Muslims and everything else around, but there were a lot more Christians. And based on their Christian belief, the age of reasoning is what? 8. So therefore, the consent age is 10, maybe even 12. That was in the 1800s, right? So then we go to like 1890. It changes a little bit because of what we're saying here, what I said earlier was because of societal influences, right? Because of things happening in the North, there's a lot more freedom. People are running around doing things and having a lot more freedom as opposed to maybe in the South at the time. Even during the 1920s, the age of consent pretty much leveled out then, and this is where it's at now. That's why I wanted to show you this as well, because this is where it's at now, and this was in the 1920s and where we haven't come too far from.
Mhm.
And it's currently between 16 and 18, and it's 16 to 18 based on what you just heard with the gentleman Michael from the Catholic faith, right? He said it because it just was easier to just kind of round it out to where it made sense. And then also when they introduced the canon law said that because no man should reach his 16th birthday, no woman, no girl should reach her 14th birthday. So now that kind of goes in line with what we're looking at now. And then America itself just kind of was like, okay, we gotta do something. And then we go up to 1999, which wasn't so long ago. 17 got thrown in there. You see how that went from 18 in some of those states to, again, plenty of people campaigning to lower it, right? So why didn't Texas lower it from 17 to 18, from
So Jen,
1890 to 1990
so
to
Jen, so
1992?
yeah. So just I do absolutely get what you're showing me. I do get I get you. So on that note right there, when it comes to I guess this thing increasing, what
Hmm.
we have to recognize is that it has been increasing just as long. I mean, it's been increasing right alongside
Hmm.
of what has been happening in society with basically do as thy will. This is the result, like from this time period and everything going by, do as thy will. If we're speaking about it from a biblical sense and what it is that is the opposite of that biblical sense.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we are in a day and age of you are not to say anything about anything. So this is how we get this. Now, the numbers, right? When you're looking at the state demographics from back during that time all the way back up in into now, what exactly are we seeing? Are we seeing an actual increase in the children wanting this and pushing it, or are we seeing the increase of adults who are adjusting and putting certain parameters in place to go ahead and live out their perverted dreams?
Well, I'm
Because you got
glad.
to think about anything that is pushed to land it, anything that is pushed, generally speaking, that is lobbied by the people who want it to be. I don't think this is something that a mass load of youth went on ahead and said, we want this. I believe that this is a law that has been put in place for those at a very, very elite top rank to go ahead and live out their Epstein type fantasies and to make it legal. Are you trying to tell me that there was 14 and 13-year-olds lobbying to go ahead and marry Mr. Sam down the street who 45 and 50? On a high masses? I'm not saying it's not some one-offs, but let's really think about that. Who really put this into place? Because anything else that's put into place is put into place by the people. I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out. She's looking out for the dog, y'all. She's looking out for the dog.
Because he's frozen right there. I just want to know why he's on. His tail is up. I see his tail sticking up, and I'm just like, and he's looking at the door. I listen to my dog. I'm sorry. This whole stream would end if he said it's time to go because he knows something I don't know.
You ain't run off on nobody, did you? You ain't run off on nobody, did you?
He know more than I do. I be like, he can smell you coming. He be like, oh, here comes some bullshit, Mom. Here comes some bullshit.
All right, come on, let's get it. But yeah, that was my take on that part right there.
So for the fact that back then, yeah, the adults and the people, kids are people too, but kids aren't old enough to add to any of that decision, right? And the kids right now, even in 2026, where the age of consent is kind of steadying at 16 to 18, just to be on the safe side. It's still not, the 18-year-olds that are voting, they're not aware of those changes and those laws that are affecting this. And the 18-year-olds that are not voting are not voting on anything, so they don't have any idea what's happening. So the people that are making the laws are the full-grown adults, right? That are not thinking about the kids. The people, and it's the people aren't doing anything because the people aren't even going down to the polls. The ones that can vote, everybody that can vote when they're 18, all those people, the age of consent is 18 in Florida. I can probably, if I was going to bet, there's probably no 18-year-olds voting on any changes in the laws of the age of consent, right? They're let alone voting, period. So, I just think that's probably a good lens to look through when you think about it like that, because the ones who are making the laws are older than me and you right now. It's not even our age group as right now, Smitty, that's going down there voting on that.
I don't know
well,
about
they're not aware. No, we're saying that because most people are not aware of the things of these changes. They're not aware of these things that are on the books. And I'm going to tell you that because I'm saying that in regards to doing this research. I'm finding out that there is a certain aspect of it. The average person doesn't even know that this law changed to vote against is changing. Now, you might be a little more politically conscious, but when you have individuals who are not going down to vote, So they don't vote on nothing. And then the ones who do go vote are focusing on the offices that change the things in their life, right? So if they vote
Right.
locally, they're only voting on the offices that are affecting their lives. If as they're getting older
Right.
and they have kids, they're worrying about the daycares and the SA offenders. They're not thinking about the age of consent law is in the midst of those laws. And I'm just adding that because Michigan no longer has affirmative action. Affirmative action is the reason why I can get a job over you because they have to hire a woman as a black and a double minority. They don't have to do that anymore in Michigan because the law changed. And do you know where they posted the amendment to the affirmative action? They said, well, maybe if we put it in front of the DMV at the grocery stores, those little, those pamphlets, and they put those in those sheets of information everywhere. But everybody who came to register for their license that year, had renewed their license, that turned 18, that information was at the DMV. It was at the wall. It was on the grocery store. But no one was looking at it because, again, if my child is not interacting with a full ass grown adult, I don't care about the age of consent. Why would I care? Right? And even more so, how they're saying that single people without children vote differently. If I don't have any kids, at the end of the day, why would a single person without children even be worried about the age of consent? They're grown. So to say that upon researching this, the average person is not even knowing that this is on the ballot, to even the fact that they're lowering it in some states, they didn't even vote to lower it because they didn't even know it was there. So just to say that, because they don't vote. How you doing, Third Ward Colombian? How you doing? Hola, papi.
The thing is, I get exactly where you are. Now, what we have to take into account is
that's so good.
What exactly the lobbying consists of. Now, a lot of what we're talking about right now has everything to do with lobbying, but what generally do people lobby for? People usually lobby for the things that are in their face, that we're hearing about on the news, or that's in the papers. Let's say, Washington, Detroit Post, whatever you get, New York Times, right? That's generally, where we get our information from, the mainstream news media. If the mainstream news media does not talk about these things, then it's one of those factors of let's say, a political out of sight, out of mind. So it's like, if it's out of sight, then of course it's not being talked about. Of course we're not pushing on it. Of course we're not forcing the laws to be changed. We're not lobbying for anything, simply because most people don't even realize that that's an issue. Just as much as there are a lot of people who aren't even aware that there's a whole nother section that is strictly and specifically designated for married people. Just like how we have Section 8. Who was that for? Single mothers and or single fathers to whatever degree. You know what else they have? A Section 3/4, which also speaks about, if you're married and you're going through hard times, these are the benefits you can get if you all are on paper as a joint couple. So it's just about the fact of how many people know about that. You know how many people have actually broken up because to land it? Yeah, exactly. How many people have broken up simply because they thought that Section 8 was the only option? They had no clue that there's this, because it's not just a Section 8. There are numbers before 8. There are numbers after 8. And there are a lot of sections. We just don't know about them. Why is it that we only know about the number 8 of a section? And I'm just saying that
of that particular service,
right? To add to what you're saying. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted.
So to get back into, I don't have it sounds. I just have a picture. You look nice when you smile. I don't know why. It looks good on you. Y'all, Smitty don't never smile. Anyway, so as I was saying, the fact that I thought that it was important to even consider how this thing started. So when me and Chicago Rilla and I were saying, why are we arguing about this when it was created way before, and then Chanel said, "Oh no, we don't care about who made the laws." Well, that is I think that was really a big deal because we had nothing to do with those laws. People of our color, minorities, none of that had nothing to do with that being put into place, right? So it's interesting though. The first age consent law emerged in England in 1275, right? And it was basically so that the maidens girls that were 12 and older were able to be considered again to be married, right? So we're looking at, what's that, the 13th century? And just like because a lot of it was ran by the Catholic Church back then, therefore that's where that puberty factor came into play. But over time, things have been modified and things have changed to where the children aren't as old as they were mentally even then, or even, now, and even physically. They're not as old physically either, right? So things were different when you had like 10 to the land as opposed to punching a button at McDonald's. So, that's also why some of the age of consent conversation is kind of like muddy, because now you can't apply some of those same premises to today's child. So, and that's also why they've averaged it out, because they also leverage it up against other things that 16 and 14 and 18 and 19-year-olds can do. So they feel like America feels like if you can drive a car, then and you're fertile, you're able to procreate, then you're old enough to decide if you want to have be married or not. And then, of course, by the time you're 18, you're old enough to vote, you're old enough to drive a car, you're old enough to buy cigarettes, you're old enough to do a few things. So that's why they also agree that by that age, you can make that kind of decision. So when we got into some more of it, someone mentioned the Romeo and Juliet law, right? So the Romeo and Juliet law, I think that is, people want to mistakenly conflate the two, because it's not talking about someone, if you're in the 9th grade and you're 14 and your boyfriend is 17 and he's in the 11th grade. I'm not talking about me, 51 years old, dating a 31-year-old because he's 20 years younger than me. None of that is protected or having anything to do with that part of it being consent-wise. So it has to do a lot with, listen to what this man said. Smitty, we're going to show this video because this was crazy. And I think that, again, my side of the perspective is when we look at this age of consent, we don't consider that some of the decision has nothing to do with us. We Black. We're not trying to be marrying our little cousin, even though, and I hate the fact that they were conflating it with the whole idea of, the older person being predatory. So even though you might look at your friend's little son and be like, oh, that's my little boyfriend, you're not finna go marry no 3-year-old or no 6-year-old. So, but again, maybe. Listen.
I have a quick question. Mm-hmm.
Question?
Yeah, because I'm just now seeing this because I'm a typical man who don't pay attention to the fine details at times if I'm zoned out.
What you just not seeing?
Yeah. Could you take that down, pull us back up real quick?
What you just not seeing this?
No, take that down. Okay, there we go.
Seeing what?
Could you please tell me what exactly is the Wall Hitters Association? Could you explain that to the people like myself who are not aware of what the hell a Wall Hitters Association is? Could you break that down before we get to the video? Thank you.
You just now saw the Wall Hitters Association as my surname underneath.
Oh, mothers.
So they told me I hit the wall because anyone that was 45 or over, the Kevin Samuels said that I hit the wall. Women that are over 40 with no kids. I think the women that had kids but they were getting old were just considered leftovers because someone had them but didn't want them, and now they left over, right? They left over with the little side piece, the baby.
Okay.
Whereas women like myself hit the wall because after a certain point in time, no young man that wants to have a family is going to want to be with a woman my age. So it's like our beauty, our fertility, all that stopped and ran into a wall. And we just stayed like stars going around us. Tweet, 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 tweet.
Well, what went through my mind is that when you get frustrated and angry, you like to punch inanimate objects and put holes in them. But okay,
no, I'm a wall hitter because I'm 50 years old and I'm still single. And apparently I'm invisible. Nobody wants me because I'm not young anymore. So everything stops.
Hey.
Life stops. All that stops.
So real quick, Jen, I saw what you had pulled up, right? If you don't mind, just, you know what I'm saying, just in case for the people that might be a little slow in the back. Make sure that like throughout this, you kind of pause it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like through like each quote ish kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like let them get out, then kind of pause it so people can like read what's being said just in case they don't read as fast. That's all.
Okay.
But yeah, real quick, I want to give a disclaimer. So when everybody talks about real quick, all right. So let me just say this briefly. There's so much talk. Oh man, in Islam. No, I'm gonna say it. In Islam, Muhammad. Oh man, Aisha was 9 years old and made the Jannah receive her. But it's funny how people don't really dive into what actually takes place throughout basically all of these religions. When you're talking about way back,
yep,
all the way back, I'm talking about before we had something called wires and electricity that we were able to conduct, right? This is basically any main religions for the most part. Like this has been a thought process. Now, this one in particular, to land it, Jen, is very, very special. I haven't heard any other religion go this far, but to think we're not even allowed. Specific. I ain't never heard nobody go this far. So y'all got all this talk about Muhammad and Islam. Read this right here that she about to pull up. And I'm going to just lay back and I'm going to let it go. Rock out, Jen.
I got to push play. Hold on. All right, I'm going to put this on the big screen. And I'm going to stop it so that you guys can hear and understand what he says. He says, an adult.
גדול הבעל הקטנה, בוא נגיד ככה.
An adult man who has sexual intercourse with a toddler, it is nothing.
ולא כלום.
There is no crime.
כי מה זה קטנה לצורך העניין הזה? פחות מבת 3.
Oh, snap. I missed that one. Can I go back? Hold on. Let me see. I can't go back. Okay.
הבתולים שלה חוזרים מאליהם.
Oh, you know what? What I'm gonna do? Start all over.
I got you, Jen. No.
גדול
I
הבעל.
gotta pull it up. I gotta pull it up too. So if you miss a part, I can pause it on my YouTube and I can just read it myself. So you keep going, and I got you if it goes too fast.
Okay, so it says an adult who has sexual intercourse with a toddler. It is nothing. There is no crime.
ולא כלום. כי מה זה קטנה לצורך העניין הזה? פחות מבת 3.
What is a toddler for this matter? A child less than 3 years old of age.
הבתולים שלה חוזרים מאליהם.
The toddler's hymen, virginity, grows back.
לכן גדול הבעל הקטנה זה...
So an adult who comes sexually on the toddler, it is nothing.
לא כלום.
It is not
ולא
considered
נחשב לביאה.
to be sexual intercourse.
זה פחות מכאן, פחות מגיל 3,
Since she was less than 3 years of age,
שנותן אצבע בעין, דן.
it is as if he poked her eye with a finger.
כמו שאמרנו. אתה נותן אצבע בעין,
As we said earlier, you poke an
זולגת
eye
דמעה.
with a finger, a tear drops, but then
אבל אחרי זה
the eye clears.
העין מתבהרת, ודמעה אחרת מחליפה.
And another tear appears and replaces the previous one.
אותה.
The same thing with the hymen, the virginity
אותו דבר עם
of a toddler
הבתולין,
who is less than 3 years of age.
פחות מבת 3.
As you can see, my
So,
Yeah. So, I mean, again,
so
you know,
that's why that's happening, because they believe that even if you did something to a 3-year-old or less, because she's young, she's going to grow back. And then you're going to marry her and have kids at 9.
Because you caught them in their mindset. Don't you know how they say, like, think about it. Try to remember something when you were 3. They say scientifically proven that most of us don't remember till like 5 and up. So they're basically saying catch them while they're in that forgetful, innocent stage. Right. And it's and that's more evil than anything I've ever heard on planet Earth. So yeah. So when we keep, I just y'all be surprised what history has. Is my point. I'm not making no justifications on anything. Now, mind you, for the record, those who are not aware, just to make it clear, the whole Aisha story was, Jen, if you made me the godfather and you said, Smitty, we're all Black Panthers. If something happens to me, I want you to go ahead and I want you to make sure that you take care of my daughter. And I say, okay, as godfather, right? So what happened was he wasn't even like at 9, they weren't being intimate. She was just under the study of Islam. She was just studying the Quran. She was studying Hadith. She was studying everything that was incorporated with the lifestyle of how you're supposed to live. It had nothing to do with him doing anything with her. So long story short, his best friend, Abu Bakr, right? His best friend, his right-hand man in war. They were in war at the time. And he said, look, hey, he looked at, imagine you looking at your best friend and you like, bruh, if anything goes wrong, man, take care of my kid for me. And he said, okay. Somehow or another throughout history, that got misconstrued into, he was having sexual relations with her at a very, very young age. No. What it was is that she was learning the Quran, and when she came into the fold in the age of womanhood, then he wound up taking her on as his wife. After, so yes, now
who is Rebecca?
Where you see that at? You see that in the comments?
How old was Rebecca?
No, Aisha. You talking about Aisha?
Rebecca.
No. I'm talking about with Muhammad.
When she married Isaac. Oh, it was Rebecca when she married Isaac.
Oh, you talking about biblically. Oh, yeah. Listen. Just about all of them, they were around the ages of like 13, between 13 and 15. I promise you. Watch this. Matter of fact, hold on one second, Jen. Hold on one second. Watch this. Go ahead, keep on talking. I'll be right back in 2 seconds.
Here. Rebecca was, I think it's in the marriage of Isaac and Rebecca is in Genesis 24. And it says that Rebecca was between the ages of 3 and 10 when she married to Isaac. So just saying.
No, I'm right here. I'm right here. No, here we go. Here we go. No, watch
I'm
this.
just Rebecca was
All right,
between the ages of 3 and 10 when she
man.
married Isaac.
All right, so let's go ahead and do this right here. Watch this. Here we go. Oh. Nancy, respect to you. Are you there? Oh, hold on. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Nancy, are you there? Oh, shoot. My bad, y'all. I got the Bluetooth on. Let me go ahead and start that over one more time. Nancy, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. No problem at all. Just take your time and we can pick up right where you left off.
Okay. Nancy, I just want to know this. What was the average age for a wife back during the biblical Bible days? Like, for example, how old was Mary when she conceived the son, the Messiah?
Scholars say that in biblical times, girls were often betrothed and married shortly after puberty, typically around age 13. Although the Bible doesn't give exact ages, many scholars estimate that Mary, when she conceived Jesus, was around 13 to 16 years old. This is based on the common cultural practice at the time, though the Bible doesn't confirm her exact age.
So what you're telling me, Nancy, is that the average age of a wife back during the Bible days was between 13 and 16. Is that correct?
Yeah,
10 and 13.
Yeah, exactly. It was pretty common for girls to marry young in those times. So that age range is kind of the historical norm. It's a big contrast from today, for sure.
It ain't just Islam. It ain't just that is a historical thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we can
And
go
Rebecca
back
was
to
between the ages of
if
3
we
and
want to be
10.
technical. If we want to be technical
It was in
about
the
it.
Bible, yeah.
Okay.
And that's why I started
digress.
off
My
by
mic is
saying
muted.
that. That's why I said that socially, as far as the society was concerned, that's why the age we saw on the map, the age of consent was 10, because biblically they believed your age of reasoning when you were old enough to understand the world around you was at 8. So to give it grace and credence for maturity, especially if you're a 10-year-old girl, you're getting ready to get married, girl. You are equivalent of a mid-20s adult in this current time. So that you're not saying age-wise, because you guys are gonna be stupid and clip this and be like, Genesis said a 12-year-old back then is equivalent of a 20-year-old. But obviously, looking at the level of maturity and where we think about a young person progressing through life, by the time they're in their 20s, they're done with college and they're thinking about, you're telling them to start looking at their life and settle down and get their career started. Back then, by the time the young girl was 10, she was halfway through that process, because now she's at the point where you got to start thinking about who you're going to marry, because you're about to be 13. So that 13-year-old back then would be equivalent to what we look at now, which is a 20-something-year-old. Who, girl, you need to start looking about what you're going to start doing and settling down and find you somebody you're going to marry. Of course, and now in 2026, that person is in their 30s, because they said, hey, women have waited longer to be engaging in marriage, even though they want to be married. So now that 12-year-old will be equivalent to what a 30-year-old is right now. Because at that point, they were 13 and 12 years old, pushing them, saying, hey, you're getting to the point where you're going to be halfway through your life. Halfway through your life at 12 and 13, that means you didn't live to be only into your 30s. Maybe 40s if you lived a long time. But yeah, that's, man. Where's my video? Yeah, man. So I'm not trying to say that they're the equivalent, because don't nobody
hold
sue
on,
me on that.
real quick before you push play. If anybody even remembers, now I know it's just a movie, but you know how they do give us a certain amount of realism in the movie, right? So the first 300, the very first one, do y'all remember about how old the boy was when he got sent out into the woods to go come back with the wolf's head before he can be crowned king? That little boy was no older than about 12 or 13. 11 maybe. I don't, you know what I'm saying? He was absolute. There, I mean, no muscle mass, all skin and bone. You could clear as day see. In today's age, that would be no more than late elementary, late elementary through middle school, which back when we were coming up, middle school was 7 and 8. Not that combined stuff today. So anyway, yeah, he was between the ages of like 11 and 13. And in that movie, they sent him out into the woods to go find a wolf and slay it and come back. So imagine if that happened today. Hold on, wait a minute, sir. You did what? Yeah, no, I told Lil Johnny go out there. You listen. You want to drive this car? you want dad take you get your license? Go on back out there and bring back a coyote. CPS is being called. The kids are being removed from the house. Dad's getting locked up. Okay, like that is what's going to take place. Like on some real talk though. But with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. I land my plane. Hashtag no sign needed. God damn it. Shit. Go ahead, Rocco.
Lord Jesus. So you asked me, was the age of consent still, like, what is it currently in today? Yeah, this little map, you know, when I was looking into it, I was looking into this stuff while we was on the panel, because I'm like, wait a minute, how far back is when me and Chicago Roller said this went back, and Chanel said, oh, we don't care about who made the laws. I'm thinking, like, how far back we don't care about who made the laws, right? Okay, so now what about the places, like I said earlier to you, what about the states and the areas who have adjusted their age of consent since our lifetime in the last 50 years, right? Argentina, 13. Niger, 13. I don't know what Burkina Faso is, but 13. Angola, 13. Albania, Bangladesh, Bolivia. Look at that. 14. In 2026, Bulgaria, 14. I think it's going to start at the bottom. In Mexico, the USA, the age of consent. Then the crazy thing about it. What?
No, I'm okay. I'm just trying. I'm looking. I'm just trying to tell you the video is freezing. It's freezing. I'm just trying to help you. So like it's way behind. But go ahead though.
Okay.
All right. My bad about that.
You talking about on the YouTube side?
Let me look on my device.
Are you
sure?
What are you looking at that's freezing?
The actual video. I'm not just saying that to say it. I wouldn't say it just to say it. I got you, fam. I'm just trying to look out for you. You know, the little stuff that people don't say, like while we live type stuff. Let me go back.
Well, let me stop it. it. Oh, my fair use isn't up either. So let me put my fair use up so we can make sure. Fair use. All right. So Ecuador, 14.
Okay, go ahead.
Germany is 14. I don't know how to do the speed up thingy. Oh, wait. Hungary, Italy, 14. Oh, wait.
You know what I'm paying attention more so to.
Let's speed it up.
I'm looking at the countries, but
Macedonia,
more than anything.
14. Say it again.
No, I was just
sorry
trying
for
to
the
say
commercial,
more,
guys. I didn't pay for YouTube Premium.
More than anything, I'm just looking at. I haven't. Oh, okay. We got to 18 and 17 finally. I was about to say, like, I've been seeing a lot of 14s.
Yeah, I was just showing you
a lot.
Yeah, so
out of 16s and 14s.
okay, I said they're gonna start. They're gonna start at the end. But look at the places that were 14. Peru, Portugal. That's why we had the conversation with oh boy, and he was like, "What do you mean? Like it's just something. It's normal here." Well, if the age of consent, if you're from Portugal, you're Portuguese, and the age of consent has always been 14. You're confused on why people are appalled because the age of consent here is 16. So we're looking like, no, that's still a baby. She doesn't mean she's just got little mosquito bites. His balls hasn't dropped. He just now got peach fuzz. But they can get married. All right. So Portugal. Oh, I did speed it up. That's why we got to 16 so fast. Siberia, 14. Sierra Leone, 14. Cambodia, starting to get into the 15.
And is all of this up to date and current?
Denmark, this is as of 2026, 15. Okay. France, 15. This is as of up to date as of everyone. That's why I said it was interesting earlier because we didn't talk about the fact that
could you pause that real quick?
Is up until right now, there have been country proposition to lower it.
Right.
In many countries, sex outside of marriage is prohibited, meaning there is no legal age of consent. Full list of these countries at the end of the video. What were you saying? I'm just letting it scroll until it gets to the end because it's gonna
go all the way to
18. It's only 11 minutes.
Really, it's going fast. Thinking about this, right?
Go ahead. We're gonna talk while this video is playing.
Yeah. I got you. So, with our country alone, actually, it's only 50 states. We're over 50% of states that actually agree. Okay. That alone.
It's 16 in the Bahamas. Wow.
So
33 states.
I'm not surprised at all. So my point is that when we look at shows like To Catch a I got you. When we look at shows like To Catch a Predator, so on and so forth, I'm actually, because for a minute, I'm gonna be real with you, somebody that has my type of headspace, I had a hard time really coming to the conclusion like it's that many people. But now that I'm thinking about it, America is a melting pot. We have people from all of these countries. We have a
all over, right? That they believe
that's from there, and they come.
That's their culture.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and you can't tell them they can't
normal.
have their culture here.
Exactly.
So that's why we're having a problem. That's why I didn't understand the argument. Biddy, I was like, okay, so what are y'all mad at? Y'all mad because of who y'all mad at in real life?
Nah, real quick. Let me just land it. But my point is, what I'm really, just to land it right here. I get it now. This right here, just in like this one little clip, just opened my eyes up to exactly why we have such a huge problem. When you can't put a hold on melting pot, if we are the melting pot of the world, there are more races and cultures here than anywhere else on planet Earth. There may be a few right slightly below us, but we are the number one. Everybody is here. So you better believe all of that. I come from my country, my race, my culture with that 14, 15, 16-year-old mentality. That's why we have so much trafficking. That's why we have so much of all of that.
It's nothing. You see how it's nothing?
And so it's this is a lot larger than what we ever thought it was, is my point.
All right, now pineapple. Look at this. I'm finna go through with my cursor. Watch. We're at the beginning. See right here? Okay, so look, let me make it small so I can see it. Maybe make it big so I can see it. All right, so we're at the beginning. Look how that's 15. The very next one is 16. Watch this. All these are 16. Watch. Now, if I do 10 seconds, watch. 20 seconds, 16, 16, 16. 10 seconds, 16. Canada, 16. Still 16. Most of the world, and as of right now, in the country, the United States, the age of consent is 16. 16. We only went up 10 seconds in the video. 16. We haven't gotten to 17 yet. And Japan, the age, yep, they have raised it from 13 to 16. There has been so many countries and so many states. This is why during that conversation that was happening, that 7-hour conversation, that initial conversation about the age of consent that they were having, they were saying, okay, well, what's the difference? And then why? Most of the country, and especially if you're talking to someone who's outside of the country, their view is global. We're still in the 16, you guys. All those states, and I even fast forwarded to 10. So in real life, the average age of consent has now been 16, and that's just to level it out, to make it, because they can't argue this puberty thing, because that's going to be basing it into religion, right? It's going to be taking it into that conversation, which we separate from church what to do. So for life, it's just, this is to make it easier. So when we were talking about, when we were discussing it, I thought they were going to even dive into the fact that why is most of the country, that 16 grown adults have individuals like how I grew up around, that say, hey, you grown when you have your own kids, when you get your own car, when you get your own place, and you get done, pay your own bills. So now when you have 16-year-olds that can emancipate from them, they're not grown and they can't do what adults do. So now, to make it fair, or to make it easier to differentiate from you actually messing with children and being from children from adults, we're going to level out the age. So here, I pause it. Here's that Romeo and Juliet law that we mentioned. That is to prevent the criminalization of teens who are close in age. Remember I said that earlier? That's why your 9th grade 14-year-old can still legally date her 17-year-old 11th grader boyfriend or girlfriend, because they're within 2 to 4 years of their age. She can even date a senior, because if she's 14, he's 18, they're within 4 years of their age. So, the parents can be upset about it. You cannot like your daughter's boyfriend, but legally she can date him there, especially if they're both in high school. We really have a problem when they start getting out of high school and one's in high school. Somehow we feel like one's still immature and one's, not mature enough, or old, already mature. But for whatever reason, that's the law. That's how it's been as well. Romeo and Juliet was put in place for that reason right there. And it doesn't have anything to do with marriage. So now we finally get to 17. So I wanted you guys to really see that. I'm glad, Smitty, you were here to see how the vast majority of the world right now, including the United States, the minimum age of consent. That's something else that's new too, guys. They're adding the minimum before that word, right? So no longer is it just the age of consent. Right now, there's a minimum, mean, medium, and maximum age of consent. So the lowest you can go, if the minimum age of consent in some countries is 9, the maximum age of consent is 12. So that's where the puberty and the maturity comes into play, because of deficiencies and social inequities. There's other things that they use. I'm telling you, once I started researching stuff, y'all, and I started going down rabbit holes, I'm like, what? Why would that even matter? Well, they can't put a Down syndrome person with a non-Down syndrome person because of the mental handicap. However, 2 Down syndrome people can get together, but they make them wait till they're older. So that's basically what that means. If they say, we're going to say the minimum age of consent is 9, the maximum age of consent is 14. Well, if that person has a mental incapacity, we're going to wait till they get 14 instead of 9. Either way, the age of consent, the minimum age is 9. So to bring it around, Smitty, how do you feel about what you mentioned earlier? You had kind of touched on it, but what do you think about the idea that there are people, when you talked about the lobbyists, when you talked about the people that are in power, right? The white folks who have the money and who have the position to put their finger on a button and say this is going to be law. Some of those people also advocate for minority attracted people organizations. Some of those people that put the age of consent or have voted on the age of consent laws are also individuals who are also leaning for the right to be able to exercise as a PDF, right? So they're saying, hey, there should be nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me. I just love children all the way to the point where I want to marry one.
Mm-hmm.
So also there is a group of people who believe that if you criminalize young love, Smitty, if you say, you know what, you as a parent could not like that your daughter is 19 and she is with a 45, 50-year-old man. Because in your culture, that's okay. She's young and ripe and tender. And you're messing with the natural process of young love. Now, backtrack when dear Phoenix was rising from the little ashes of an adolescent, and she had her little bee stings and her little matching underwear with her cute little characters on it, and she's 12 and she's 10, and she says, "Daddy, this is my husband and he's 25." Just backtrack to that moment, because unfortunately there's some people saying that, hey, or no, how about think of it like this, Minnie? Think about when your daughter was little and some one of your male friends that's not related to you, not her actual uncle, but you know how sometimes you have, say what's up to Uncle T, and he's not really your uncle. And then she goes over to give Uncle T a little kid version hug, and he'd be like, "Hey, my little girlfriend," and then she sit on his lap, and now it's kind of like, what's going on? Some people would say that's way inappropriate. Don't be having no little girl sitting on no man's grown ass man's lap. Now that's our culture. That's black folk, right? We say don't be you can't be doing that. Then we didn't like it when that little Sparkle had to do it with the R. Kelly girl, right? They said go over there and rub his head and ask him to be a godfather. So we've seen that happen where the young girls over there sitting on the older gentleman's lap, and it's like, say what's up to your Uncle Thomas, say what's up to your your pawpaw's friend. And for some people, that's a completely innocent interaction. But for some people, they're saying, hey, if you interfere with that, Smitty, then you are interfering with the natural process of a young person falling in love and enjoying the emotions of having a feeling of love. So you're messing with her. Your little daughter's having a crush on her older friend, her daddy's older friend. Like a lot of young boys had a crush on your mama, on their friend's mama, right? That's where we got the MILF from. So we're saying some people believe that this age of consent is in the way of all that happening when it's supposed to happen. The young girl is supposed to have a crush on the older man. The older man is supposed to be saying, hey, that's my little girlfriend. The older women's supposed to be beautiful so that the younger boys can have crushes on them and crush out. And it's okay because you're messing with the process. By you saying that's inappropriate for them two to interact, you messing with the process of natural adult, and you could be scarring that person. So when they grow up, now that's why they can't have healthy, functional relationships, because you didn't let the little 9-year-old fuck on his 25-year-old babysitter. We should have let that happen, because if you had let it happen, he would be okay later on in life, because you just messed up the whole process. And the same thing for the girls. So this whole consent thing is in the way. Check this out. This is the doctor who believes he's got a debate going, right? Oh, first I'm going to show you this little guy who was like wigging out because he was like, wait, he didn't understand. He didn't believe the age of consent. I just thought this was a cute 50-second video while I cue up the doctor. Hold on. Yeah, check out this little Boy, he was wigging out, y'all. It was so funny. He's like, "What do you mean?"
This is the age of consent in different countries. I was just minding my own business, doing my own thing, when I came across an article that announced that a certain country has lowered its age of consent. And I'm not kidding. This was my genuine reaction. So I did some more research out of complete curiosity to find out the age of consent in different countries, and holy shit. So for starters, in the USA, the age of consent is 16 to 18 years old, depending on the state. And in Canada is 16 years old. And then I digged a little deeper. The countries with the highest age of consent is Bahrain and Niger, being 21 years old. Malta, India, Sri Lanka, Tanzania, and Uganda are all 18 years old and older. Now prepare yourself. The countries with the lowest are Nigeria, being 11 to 13 years old, Angola being 12 years old, Mexico in certain parts also being 12 years old. Yeah, that's enough internet for today.
He's overloading on the whole concept of the age of consent.
So now,
all right. So can you see it?
Let me say it. Oh yeah. You let me know when I can say something briefly about that.
Say what?
No, I wanted to say something briefly about that.
That with the video we just saw.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the video we just saw. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. Yes. So that even goes back to my whole headspace of why I don't watch corn no more. Y'all gotta think. I want y'all to think about this, right? There's a lot of this corn that's on a lot of these sites, these major sites like Corn Hub, all of these other places.
The young girls.
These footages are being done in other countries. Everything you looking at is in America.
They're recording in another country.
And there's a lot of folks who go to these countries to record, and you have no idea if you're looking at a really, really thick 15-year-old. You have no idea what you're looking at. That's why I was saying that. So between the surgery and you don't know if that's, he or she, and even down to like a lot of this stuff being all over the world, and this is what the average age consent is.
And if you lie about your age and then they don't care to check, and you start getting in there and you can take a good D and hit it from the back and fill all holes, and you down with same sex, you and menages and orgies, and they don't, at the end of the day, it's not an industry that's gonna particularly care that you lied about your age. So you can get in, you can get in there. I don't know. So listen, this doctor, he was talking about the emotional fallout of criminalizing young love, and this is the impact that it leaves on teenagers. That's what he's saying. So by us having this rule and having this law in place, and by us for now focusing on it, so when we see it when we see it's up for voting and up for decision, we now that it's going to be to the front of our mind, they're now causing harm to young people who want to have an innocent relationship. All right, fair use. Oh, is there? Oh, wait, I hit the wrong. Did y'all hear it? Oh, there it go. So he, just to add context, because he's actually wrapping up. This is part of the previous part of the conversation where, let me show y'all right quick. I think I probably should just show y'all the first one. Well, initially he's getting into the part of the conversation which touches on what you were talking about, Smitty. So I'm gonna show you this part first, and then I'm gonna show you the other one. I'm gonna go do my first mine. Here you go.
Can't hear it. No sound.
No sound?
No sound.
Okay. Oh, okay. Let's do it again. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, it was no sound on the
Okay.
video. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So let's do this and let's go back to here. So again, for context, we're gonna circle back to touch on what Smitty mentioned in addition to this. So now they're talking about this is emotional fallout of criminalizing young love. So this is what they're saying what we're doing. You're criminalizing young love by putting this consent rule into effect. Although, well, listen what he
A
said.
high possibility of then 16 to 18-year-olds being vulnerable to exploitative partners, elder partners. What are your thoughts there, and what could that do to a person's psyche in the long term?
What we can do is, rather than take away their rights completely in this domain, we can have clauses in the law which says that, to protect them from exploitation. There are things that we know now from the research that has gone on, the data that we have. We have seen that a large section of the exploitation happens within families, older relatives, teachers, or it happens when there is a power dynamic, like between castes and religion, and who's the perpetrator and so on. And if you are able to put that in law and in the clause that
So you already just asked me, how you saying like the fact that a teacher can take advantage of a child because there's a power dynamic, because there's the authority, because you're a parent, because you have nephews, because you have the young lady who sells cookies, because you're an adult, there can be a power dynamic, and because of that, if we add that to the law of the consent and say, hey, only in case of this situation should it be against the law, because otherwise you're messing with natural teenage love. Here you go.
What is the age differential? What is the relationship with a person that consensual sex is agreed upon? Is there use of force, of coercion? Is there a power dynamic?
So, is there any type of force, any type of coercion? If I lured the little 8-year-old girl, rest in peace to the young lady in the FedEx, but if I lured her under the guise of coercion, then now the age of consent law comes into effect. But if I didn't lure you and you're the little 10-year-old daughter falls in love with your 30-year-old homeboy that comes over and kicks it with you, why are you interfering with her love? She's 12 and he's 30. What are you doing, Smitty? You're crazy.
Like is the young person coming to work in a household, which is when that happens. Then it becomes exploitative, or it is being done with an ulterior motive. Those are kind of things that we can weave into the law, so
if the young person comes to work in the household, right? You hire a young person that comes and do some work for you, which we don't do that. We don't hire children to come do work, for you. So if that person comes to do, he said weave that into the law so that it can only apply, because otherwise you're criminalizing young people falling in love with older people or vice versa.
It also becomes protective at the same time. So where there is a blanket kind of an openness after 18, where anybody can have a consent to give consent to a sexual relationship, between 16 and 18 it can be much more nuanced. Then we can actually put in riders and clauses over there to protect the children, at the same time give them agency and freedom to do what they're biologically and psychologically programmed to do, because it's a part of growing up. It's a part of understanding your own self. It's a part of developing your identity and understanding your gender, sexuality in deeper ways. And if we take that right away from them, then we are, again, as I said, doing them a huge disservice, taking away agency from our age group, where the more agency we give them, the more freedom they have to make life choices.
So you think that your daughter, she fell in love with if a 30-year-old man was interested in your 14-year-old at the time, you taking that away from her is disrespecting her agency to experience all that. and that you could be traumatizing her and causing a counter effect in how she deals with men and how she has a relationship, because it can affect her in a negative way. So again, interesting with that perspective. But now I'm going to add this, because this is what you were saying earlier about the grooming and the adult weaving it in there to where they can kind of be like on the lines of doing something negative. So that same adult, because it doesn't say that. It just doesn't say that because, the law says a 35-year-old can marry a 9-year-old, but we're not looking into the idea of, is this 35-year-old like one of those people who are into kids? So there are some people that are on that same campaign that are also campaigning for the minority attracted individuals, right? Those people are campaigning for, why are you pushing this age of consent? Why are we making it so? We need to add some nuances to the law, like the doctor just said. Why don't we add in there that, as long as you're not being coerced or forced, or so that 9-year-old, when her mama puts her hand into the old grown man's hand, what that 9-year-old gonna do against a grown man? She's not even big enough to fight back. So how is not coercion? But according to certain beliefs, we can't interfere with that, because we just saw it's been in the Bible since forever. So well, the other night we was arguing, what are we saying? You mad because of Shannon Sharp, or you mad because a 24-year-old was with a 16-year-old, or whatever the scenario was? What are we arguing? Are we really upset that the girl was in the back of the FedEx truck? And she was a whole kid, and he was a whole ass grown up with a job. And that just happened. It's FedEx trucks running around right now with pink flags on it in memory and rest in peace to that little girl that just the hell damn was deleted like 2 weeks ago. So that, according to him, he ain't did nothing wrong, remember? He just found him a cute little 9-year-old. How old was that little girl? What's her name? I don't want to get her name wrong out of respect, but
let's just
call
her. Let's just call her
FedEx
Amber
girl.
Alert. No, Amber Alert.
Amber Alert, little young girl. So that just happened. So it's crazy to think that we was talking about the age of consent, and we went up here looking like, so we're not gonna, never gonna bring into account how old was that little girl? Because that little girl was not of age of consent, not according to the United States for sure.
Elementary school. That's all that needs to be said.
According to some beliefs, and according to some faith-based spiritual beliefs, and then carnal world beliefs, that man wasn't doing nothing wrong in certain beliefs. And then what are you supposed to do when you have someone from whatever part of the world comes and melts into our part of the world, and they're here now, and then their part of the world, just like old boy said, in my country I could be with a 14-year-old. I don't know what y'all talking about. But over here, he gonna have to adjust, and they don't know. I don't like that. So either I'm gonna stay in my country, or I'm gonna adjust, and then I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and then y'all gonna catch me, because y'all have to prove it. And and the accent's going to forfeit them giving you a hard ass time about it. Because in my country, I don't know. I do not understand why I cannot have 14-year-old. And what are you gonna do? It's the melting pot. You know what I mean? So.
Wait a minute.
That's why.
Wait a minute. That guy in particular, because I know exactly what story you're talking about.
What story?
The FedEx truck driver. I know exactly what you're talking about. I saw that as well.
That just happened. Yeah, it's all over the news. People, there's FedEx trucks running or driving with pink flags, ribbons on them. That's what that's for.
Hold on, Jen. Hold on. This is just my question. Was he from somewhere else? I'm just asking, because maybe that's a detail I did not catch. Because from what I see, that's an American white dude that just was on some sick shit. In particular, because I don't want the audience to get mixed up thinking that case was a foreigner. It was, from what I saw, that was Joe from down the street. That wasn't Habib. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't Masabi. None of that.
Hello?
But go ahead though.
Oh, okay. I'm like, you
Oh yeah.
froze? Okay.
Yeah. No. Yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna say that again. Yeah, I think that was old Joe from down the street who just was on some other stuff. But anyway, go ahead.
She said it's on some R. Kelly. Well, according to certain laws, the only thing, that's so bad to say, had we not saw the whole R. Kelly situation, it was nothing. I mean, not to say it was nothing to take away from it, but we would have not how we wouldn't have known anything.
Where is
had we not had that video not circulated and recorded
let me
it.
ask you
But that's
this.
a whole
Let me
nother
ask you
side
this.
of the conversation. What happened?
No, briefly. I want to ask you this. Where is R. Kelly from? Where is he from?
I think Chicago?
Okay. Oh, okay. He's from Chicago. Okay. Go ahead. No, because I was wondering. No. Honestly, like I was wondering if possibly, not giving it an excuse or a pass, but is he from originally and grew up in one of them states where that shit's normal? The older dudes, young chick thing. That's why I was asking, because maybe that could have a lot to do with why he would. You know what I'm saying? That's why I asked.
Oh, like did he grow up somewhere else and then settle into Chicago? So you're blaming it on the geography?
No, not. Let's just. Okay, so listen.
His geography had nothing to do with nothing.
No, hold on. No, because if we're gonna say that, then everything you just pulled up about this country, this country at, then that geography don't mean nothing. Then we have
That's
to
what
say
I'm saying.
that.
Are you trying to say he did that because of where he's from? Like he had sex with a 14-year-old and pee on her because he's from a state where that's normal? You said you just said where is he from before? Where is he from? I said Chicago. You said, oh, because I was wondering because maybe he was from a place where that's normal.
Right. So again, what I'm saying is possibly, yes, that part right there, where he's from, just maybe. I was wondering, is he originally from maybe one of the states here, one of the 33 states where it's like 14 is cool? I'm not talking about peeing on nothing. That's a whole nother level, Janko. So you took it somewhere I ain't even.
I mean, that's what he did. That's all he did.
Okay.
He had sex with the girl and peed on her.
But let me get my part out because we both got audience.
I mean, girls was getting flued out to go to Dubai to get boo-booed on. So
right. Facts. Okay.
Like,
Simone.
Shit.
Okay, Simone.
Literally shitting on people over here at the age of consent. You got to be. I don't know.
So listen, what I'm saying is that I was wondering, if he's from somewhere that maybe he's from a town, a state where it was real common to see older guys picking up high school girls after school. Does he come from somewhere where the age consent is 14 and that's normal? Just as much as we just looked at the age consent in all these other countries.
Well, that would be a no, because if he came from anywhere in the United States after 1999 or in 2014, remember, the age consent leveled out at between 16 and 18. So at worst case scenario, him being from Chicago, Illinois, in Illinois, the age of consent is 17. So he all the way effed it up with her being 14, right? So him going after 13, 14, 15-year-olds, because nowhere in them.
Are you talking about Aaliyah? I'm
talking about anywhere. The girl was 14 that he pee-peed on, and then when we saw the documentary, it was so many other girls that was 13, that was 14 and 15 at the time too. He only remember throughout the whole video, the whole documentary, he only dealt with 2 adult women that were both over 21. Everybody else was under 21. So even still, when we saw the map, it ended at 2014. As of 1999, the age leveled out. So that's when they said, okay, just make it easy on everybody. state by state, you have to make your age of consent between the ages of 16 and 18. And by state, they chose whatever they chose. So now, because of that, that map has 16, 17, and 18 all over it. So at the time when R. Kelly did this, the age of consent was set in stone to be between 16 and 18. And that girl was nowhere near that age. So by then, he couldn't have been from nowhere in America. He had to be from somewhere else to be like, oh, my country.
I just want to say this to the audience. I would like to say this to the audience. I would like to apologize to everybody on both sides, whoever may be watching and or catch the replay. Please forgive Jen.
Why are you apologizing?
For giving unnecessary, such graphic details about golden showers and everything else. Okay. I want to apologize.
It is after dark. I said I was going to be nice because the topic was serious. So, you can't charge it to my heart.
I'm not mad at you. I just wanted to apologize for the church folks in the back. Rock out.
The folks that they was offended. I thought this was going to be about Jesus again. We talking about the poor children. And here you go talking about squirt, squirt, skeet, skeet. Hey. Oh, I'm just saying. But yeah, there would have been no way at the time when this happened that he can be like, oh, well, I'm from Sugar Block, Louisiana, where the age of consent. No, and none of that happening because everybody had the age of consent at the age between 16 and 18. They said, based on your government, your local government, how do y'all want to work this out? Now, why some states chose 16 as opposed to 17 and 18, that's something else.
But watch this, though. We all know, anybody who knows about, like, let's say, for example, I don't know, like the Constitution, like maybe a lot of the laws that are written here in this country, in particular, talking about where we are. A lot of it, if you ask, especially like Republicans and conservatives, they'll tell you a lot of the law and Constitution is based upon what? Biblical principles.
Right. That's what I said.
So when I asked Nancy, how far back is this whole like dating that young? So if the law and the Constitution, all these things is let's say biblical oriented in some form of fashion, then I don't find it surprising that we have out of 50 over 50%, right? Over 50% of the states that agree with that, considering they already told us back during the biblical days, the average age of a wife was exactly what the average age and consent of this very country is right now today.
That's why I thought it was crazy when it was only me and Rilla saying like, okay, wait, what are we sitting here talking about something that was created way before us. And now, again, this little deep dive made it even more concrete that this was before us, the lawmakers. It had nothing to do with, this was biblical. So when old girl was like, I don't care who made the rules, girl, argue with God, because it looked like, because you see the Hebrew man was like, holla, 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 and it was like, look, it's no problem. Even the Catholic man was like, well, this is how we think about it. And then the Christians believe the age of reasoning was 8. So therefore, the Christian country at the time was the age of reason was 10 to 12. So that's just, and then what happened? Canaan law came in, which made it between 12 and 14. So what y'all arguing with? Jesus? With God? I mean, not to say, I guess that's a cancer in me. Sometimes I don't know how to put stuff unless I just say the words that's in my head. We arguing with God. We cannot like it. We can be upset. We cannot like the fact that your 14-year-old, that your 16-year-old daughter can totally marry. And I think some places do have like a cap maximum age bracket, right? So you as a 40-year-old man, I think what you 40-year-olds, some 40-something Smitty, you obviously can't marry. Well, in some states you can marry whoever you want, all the way down to 16, right? But some states put the cap on it. That's why I think that reading up to 33 if she was 16. If they were 16, and maximum age was 33 or 35. And then that's why I said earlier, some states have a minimum age of consent and a maximum age of consent, which means if they go between 16 and 18 or 16 and 19, the maximum age it's going to be based on some sort of mental disability or some sort of incapacity, and something that incapacitates them on some level, right? You might be physically handicapped, and you might need longer to develop, or mentally handicapped. So then that's why that window between 14 and 18 is the minimum age of consent and the maximum age of consent. Everybody else has an average 16 is it. 17 is it. At 17, you can go get you a 40-year-old man. And then your daughter can come home with someone just like you and say, Dad, this is my boyfriend. I love him.
Well, see, the thing about it is, Jen, is that what you just described, to say that there's a cap.
I'm making me a coloring book.
To say that there's a cap, as in there is a difference between, that's just weird to me.
It's weird just to think about anything, any part of it.
No, wait. To have a cap and to say, all right, if you over 40 or something, you can't date the 16-year-old, but
that's too
as long as you 35 and younger, you're good to go. That's still crazy-ish. There's no win in that. There's no win.
That's why they kept saying on the show 16 and 33, and that was like, what is this 33 they're talking about? And I was like, oh, that's just like a little cap that some states are going to say, like, if you're over 33 and that girl's 16, you're too old for her, really, but you're too old for her at 33 too. But you're younger, you're younger than 50, younger than 50 and 13. I mean, 50 and 16.
Yeah.
You see the difference? 50 and 16 is crazy, but 33 is not.
I'm just saying, like, my whole point is, it's like that, like, is I would be asking, especially as a parent to a daughter, is that law supposed to protect my daughter from predators, or just like restrict the age of the predators who come to my daughter? Because the predators are still allowed to come to my daughter. Like, that's my point.
And
like,
your 19-year-old is well within the age of consent.
That makes no
so
sense. That's
good.
like, that just, I don't.
Your daughter is good. She got it. If you don't like it, you got to deal with it.
You know what that's equivalent to? I'll tell you like this, right? That's equivalent to, for example, if the law said you can poison wives, you can poison your husband, but you're just not allowed to use cyanide. Figure out another component. You can use bleach over time. You can just like crush up certain pills, as long as it's not cyanide. So it's almost like, are you really protecting us from the law of like homicide, or are you like, that doesn't protect you? That it's like, it's
the cap. The cap doesn't do anything.
The threat is still there. The threat is still there. I mean, we all.
But that still says that they recognize that at a certain age.
We all know about that voodoo
weird.
Spaghetti. Everybody knows about the voodoo spaghetti. But anyway, go ahead.
What does the voodoo spaghetti got to do with this?
You know damn well what the voodoo spaghetti. Exactly everything I just said. If they're allowed to poison you. The voodoo spaghetti.
I don't know nothing about no voodoo. Why do y'all think that's a real It's probably a real thing. I mean, I'm so sorry. I'm never going to get married because I'm telling you right now, I'm not voodooing your. I'm going to shit in your food. I'm going to do all that. I'm not waiting till my period comes just to do all that. You're going to get what I got for you right now. That's crazy. I'm not doing all that crazy stuff. No, I don't know nothing about no voodoo spaghetti.
Hold
on for what?
Eating a cracker. I'm trying to.
You white person?
As a visual person, you shitting on food while I'm chewing. Let me finish first.
Oh, then tell you. Okay.
What's wrong with you? Go ahead,
All
Jen.
right. No, you make me. Now I want my little apple bites.
Damn.
Yeah, man. I don't play that. I don't know what to do with that. I guess I'm gonna be single for the rest of my life because I'm not trying to
What? What are you not trying to do, Jen?
poison. Figure out ways of. No, I'm not doing all that. But yeah, that's crazy work. That's crazy work.
All right.
So yeah. Woo. I'm okay. What time is it? Oh. Oh.
That's the video. Is that what?
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this doctor is having this doctor is having so he has a debate about it. I'm gonna try to see what else I have. Okay. Hey. Oh yeah, so the bizarre age gap between Isaac and Rebecca. That's crazy. That's crazy. How old was she? Let me see.
Nah,
Oh,
wait.
the
Let me
commercials.
ask
Hold
you a
on.
question.
It's so loud I can't turn it
I'm
down.
gonna ask you a question about something, right?
Okay, there we go. I'm like, wait, I couldn't even mute it. Okay, so what was the question? What was the age gap between Isaac and Rebecca?
So yeah. So I was gonna ask you, considering that we're talking about this age gap and all of that, what is your view on the actual penalties in this country? Do you believe that overall the penalties or the correction, if you want to call it, is harsh enough? Do you believe it's something that actually is of a benefit to those of us who want to
What do you
be
mean the
safe?
penalties are harsh enough? Like, what do you
Those who
mean? Like how
actually,
people are
those
punished?
who actually, yeah, the punishment. Do you believe that it's something that actually generally is upheld to a standard that most of us would be like, yeah, that's what's up. Justice has been served. Or do you think they let them off
No.
too
What do
easy?
you mean?
Do you think on the
I think
average,
what's the
yes,
penalties for right now? What's the penalty for what? For age for what? What are you
I don't,
asking for? Age gap? Dating?
no, like the predatorial, just like everything, like specifically what we're talking about. Yeah, okay, so let's say the age gap and the predatorial aspect. Let's say, okay, statutory, things of that nature. Grooming,
Statutory for grooming.
all of it. Go ahead.
Hold on.
Like anything
I gotta come
involving
back.
that is really primarily my point. Like anything involving it.
Sorry, I was getting some ice. Ooh.
You
Oh
got
man, my ice is frozen.
it is.
Oh my goodness, it's all frozen. Okay, there we go. Now, okay, so say the question again. Sorry, I was distracted. My drink is too sweet. It's so good though. It's like, But what is the question? Do I think the penalties right now for, like, if that's happening, like now that, like the guy did with that little girl, like for kids, because we see kids, see, I get what they were trying to do while the whole reason for this, because, they wanted to make sure that kids don't get, taken advantage of, right? But it's kind of like again, since we're a melting pot, like we were saying, how can we go against, you know what I mean? Because in that person's belief, they're not doing anything wrong. In their mind, and even in their country, the penalty for there's no penalty for what they did. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with what they did. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with people being with kids, because that's to me is wrong. But I guess I have a Western perspective. I guess that's what is an American perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but yeah, here's the other video because this is what you were saying. This is what you were touching on. Sorry, I didn't mean to have a have an ADD conversation, but this is what you were leaning towards, like what you're saying now. How the age of consent debate is people who are grooming or trying to groom children. They can hide behind this conversation that we're having right now. So check this one out because I found my video. Shout out to Michigan Extract. They have a good strain, and I think I only hit it like 3 times since we've been, and I am nice. All right, can y'all see it? Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, it's on. It's on.
Criminalizing young love. So, for any of the two partners concerned, what does that situation do to their psyche?
It is indeed traumatic, for something which is so natural, and perhaps for many young people, something that is exciting, beautiful. It helps them to again feel good about themselves. They have a certain sense of self, of validation when they get into romantic relationships, isn't it? Yeah, and you criminalize that. It's deeply traumatic, and they might carry that trauma for the rest of their lives. They may not be able to have trusting relationship for years to come after that, right? So we are also, in a way, by putting in such a heavy law out there, creating a lot of dissonance and trauma in the young generation. And we know that the exploitation comes from the other side as well. So when young people get into consensual relationships, there are other people, adults, who do not approve of it and will use the law so unfairly, in such a unjust manner to be able to get after, particularly young men.
Hello, boy.
To get after, to actually get after young men.
So there's people who will use it to, what do you call it, vilify young men.
No. Weaponize.
Well, create them to be a villain. Is that what that word means too? I don't know.
Basically, yeah. I mean, to weaponize, to villainize. You know what?
To weaponize it. Okay.
Yeah, I think that I think they can work.
So there are people out there who will say, "I don't like black men," and so every time they see
they work synonymous. It can work synonymous. Yeah.
Okay, so then they use that to weaponize another young man, especially he's saying specifically in leaning towards men because they don't generally do it with women. But even still, you see how this circles back around to, again, he said it can affect their psyche. They could not have trusting, healthy relationships because we didn't let them, have this crazy interaction at this point, and we are criminalizing it. So on one end, you have individuals who say, "Oh no, you shouldn't. You're too old to be with her. Are you too young for him?" And then so now the society is, because that's what is socially not accepted here. I mean, I guess. I mean, you would have to be in another country and then go below their minimum age of consent to offend them. So now if you were over in Portugal or somewhere and where it's 14, and you're like, yeah, let me look at that 12-year-old. And they're like, what? What is wrong with you? That's the same way we feel like, why would you need to look at a 14-year-old? But again, back to the question that shout out to Lucky who was asking, we just want to understand, why is this adult male attracted to this child? And how come we don't see that being a problem? Because here that's a problem. But accordingly, we're going to argue the age. Well, you're attracted to a child, right? That's a young person,
Right.
So, but that's why I said it was interesting to find out when I was researching this, how organizations that support the MAP, the minority attracted people, were really
minor attracted.
Minor attracted, not minority, but minor attracted. Those people are your lobbyists. Some folks are on the same lobby train. They don't want the age of, or they fight. They're arguing for the age of consent to be lowered because they're trying to, push another kind of agenda. So it was just interesting to research this.
I wonder.
Are you holding a what's it called? The sands of time. These are the days of our lives.
You know what? In therapy, it's therapeutic. Like I was told when I started to get a little bit of anxiety, I was told just kind of hold one of these. Just hold it up. Yeah.
And the sand is just going to the hourglass?
And just let it drain. Just let it drain.
Is that like giving you a minute, literally?
No. It's just therapeutic watching it. That's it. Ain't got nothing to do with time. It's just therapeutic looking at it. Mm-hmm. You know how they have, you know what else I have? Those squeeze balls? You just squeeze them. Like when you're sitting there. You're squeezing them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
Let me stop. We're supposed to be serious. Hi, Ivy Wody. Hey, Ivy Wody. It's Kojak. Hey, Kojak. Hey, Sugars. I know. These are the days of our lives. That's what I was thinking of when it was an hourglass.
Well, come into my world and you can see that we are more than thugs.
I know that line. I know that line.
We're just a little twist of harmony, but smoking lethal warriors.
I know that line. He said smash the like button. Thank you. Willing to win. Thank you.
Days of our lives. I mean, real talk. Yeah. Just come into my world and you can see that we are more than thugs.
We are warriors. Hey. Cause that's my jam. Why are you playing with me? I'm like, I know that line. And I'm like, wait, oh shit. Okay, sorry, y'all. I am not monetized. Let me hear that song. Quit playing with me. I'm not monetized. I can play it. Cause that is my shit. But that's my shit too. So what you think of all this? I mean, this was interesting. I'm good for the rabbit hole, and I'd be like, ooh, what? And some stuff I was just like, that little curveball you threw in there. I was like, hold on. That man was like, if you get a 16-year-old, if you get a 3-year-old, where is the fellas in the chat? Okay, Kojak. I don't know how much you've been watching, but did you hear what he said? Did you hear what that rabbi said? Do I need to play it again? You know what? I think I need, just for the sake of content and my video being good content, we're going to hear that again. We're going to hear it again. We're going to hear it again one more time, y'all, just before we end the show, because this is a nice little
you
show.
Need to let them hear what the rabbi said.
I'm proud to say that. That's what I just said. We're going to hear it again. We're going to hear it again, what the rabbi said. So I want you, okay, Kojak, please pay attention. Willing to win, pay attention. Ivy Wody, pay attention, okay? We need Purple Heart Media medals after this shit, goddamn. Kojak, I want you to listen, pay attention. Fellas, since you guys are here, thank you guys for coming. You guys are my faves. Listen to this, okay? Listen to this.
Jan.
Hurry up, eat your cracker so you could.
No, I was going to ask you, red or purple pack? Which one?
What is that? What are those?
Nothing.
Oh, I don't know what they are to tell you what color. I don't eat colors. Oh, I can't. Oh shit! Hold on. I can't even see what that is.
Play the video.
I don't even see what it was.
Don't worry about it. We're gonna get you a fundraiser.
I can't now. I need to know what it is.
Take you to America's Best.
Skittles. Those are my favorite because you know I'm allergic to chocolate. I get Skittles every year on my birthday from a person that's out there in the universe.
Red or purple? Okay. All right.
Oh, red. That's the original classic. But purple with island flavors, right? Passion fruit, pineapple.
I ain't gonna lie. I like the purple pack. I like the purple
kiwi,
pack.
whatever. Purple, yeah. The purple is good. Even though they all taste the same. They just different colors.
I know. They kind of do. They kind of, but it's bomb. I do. I like them. Go ahead though.
He said, but it's bomb. I know. It's just. I know. It's just. It don't really even. All the candy tastes the same. Our mind they taste different. All right, fellas, back again. You guys, I want y'all to pay attention to what this is in this video, okay?
All right.
What? Ooh.
I was gonna say quick nature fact. Right now, I'm eating bugs. Rock out.
Yeah. Candy. That candy's made from
right now
the hive of a bug or something like that, right? Yeah.
The blood.
All right, let's go through it. All right, let's go through it slowly. Check out what this rabbi said, Kojak. I want you to hear this.
Hey, put on
an
the
adult man.
Down low. You should put us down low so they can read it better. There you go.
An adult man who has a sexual intercourse with a toddler, it is nothing. There's no crime. What is a toddler for this matter? A child less than 3 years old. The toddler's hymen, virginity, grows back. So an adult who comes sexually on the toddler, it is nothing. It is not considered to be sexual intercourse. Since she was less than 3 years of age, it's as if he poked her in the eye, poked her eye with a finger. As we said earlier, you poke an eye with a finger, a tear drops, but then the eye clears. And another tear appears and replaces the previous one. The same thing with the hymen. The virginity of a toddler who is less than 3 years old.
As you can see my face, what did I just watch? I can't believe the words that came out of his mouth. I'm reading the captions as they pop up, and I'm just like, whoa, is this true? Like, what? 3 years old? How old was Rebecca? 3 years old?
Yeah, when I looked at Rebecca, they say they're not sure, but she was between the ages of 3 and 10. So.
Kojak is going for the jugular. Kojak was smack for the jugular. But now my point, for those who just coming in, Jackie Chan, rest of y'all, the point that I was making is when we're talking about the age of consent, do you want me to pull Nancy back up, Jen?
For what?
Remember when I was talking about the biblical days? So even down to the biblical days.
Oh, well, they weren't. I don't know if they were listening before.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So even down to the biblical days.
But when you go back and rewatch this video, you'll hear the previous information about the biblical days.
Yeah, exactly. So in the biblical days, it was even talking about how, like, the average wife, a lot of these guys we read about that we love, their wife was no
Mm-hmm.
more than about 13, between 13 and 16. That was typical. That was average back then.
Right. So the
This
whole
is not the
conversation
now.
about it is
Now, hold on,
wrong. But
Jen. Let me just give this out real quick, and then I'm gonna give you all the way to flow. Now, I just want to make sure I give this this
in
as
modern
well.
time.
And yeah, I'm not saying this to get people to look at like, oh man, what it is, the book I read, what it is I subscribe to is horrible or it's bad or anything like that. No, all I'm
Mm.
saying is that there's not one of these that we can seclude to, oh y'all used to, oh yeah, Muhammad this or this person that or this prophet this messenger that or this book this book that. The fact is, back during a certain period of time, that was just across the board. And what do we have to prove that today? The actual laws that's in this country. 33 out of 50 states actually concede to the fact of if you're 14, you're good to go. That's biblical. I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out.
No. Well, that's all. That's all I was coming to the conclusion of that. Why are we're upset about? We're always going to be upset about how awkward it looks, and we're always going to be upset about the fact that we think it's a mature person that's taking advantage of. Because yes, that's usually the case. I don't know where in the country we would be getting to the point where, like the doctor said, amending the law to include things like, was the person taken advantage of? Were they, because how he was saying it, he was just saying it's in the way of young love. I don't think that is. I don't think that. That's.
Jen, let
I
me
don't. I'm
ask you
not
this
thinking that.
though. Let me ask you this though, beloved.
Your
When
19-year-old
it
daughter can come on with a 45-year-old, and you're gonna feel like you're infringing upon
I'm
her
going to
right
prison.
to.
I'm going to prison. I'm going to prison. So anyway, listen, right. No, I'm not playing. I'm not playing. I know how to bid.
She's
I
a
know how to
grown man.
bid. Look, I already did 7 years. I know exactly what to do when I get back there. I know how to
No,
fold that.
the
I'm going
law
to
age of
prison.
consent, and
I'm
the
going
age
to
of consent
prison.
is 16.
Going to
So she's
prison. Going to prison. Let me ask you this question, Jen. Okay.
okay. But what if
I'm
he's
going,
33? The cap is 33 in your
I'm
state.
going to
So
prison.
you going to
Jen, let
prison
me
over
ask
a 33-year-old man that's
I'm
dating your
going to prison.
19-year-old daughter?
I'm going to prison. Jen, let me ask you this question.
He's saying it.
Going to prison.
He's 19. The age of
I'm
consent is
going to
17
prison.
over there where you at.
I'm going to methodically and premeditatedly organize and design everything. I'm gonna make sure I got money in order for canteen and lawyer, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna call on peoples as soon as I'm done. I'm gonna
Call
go
the
ahead. I'm gonna
people.
have me. Yes. I'm gonna have me my last couple of shots and my last little everything I love so much. My last little steak and cheese or whatever it may be. My last little meal before I go in. I'm gonna have all that shit set and prepared. I'm gonna go ahead and turn myself in. We're gonna take care of it from there. I got a question for you, Jen. I got a question for you.
Oh, it's
So
16 right there. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
everything that you just said, do you believe that it is more so we feel this way? Do we feel this way because of what it actually is and how low it is, or do we feel that way because of the people and the humans that we are today? Considering
Do
our
we
minds
feel
aren't
this
them back
way
then. So is it because it's
because
actually
of the
bad?
how young it
So
is?
granted, is
Are
it
we feeling like this because we're
no,
like, oh my
just
God,
period.
that's a 13-year-old? Or are we feeling like this because
No, Jen. Very, very simple and specific. Do we feel that way because it's actually bad, or do we feel that way because of the humans that we are today? No bull.
I think both. I think
Okay.
who you are today makes you feel bad about it. Because if we were who we wouldn't, if we were then, obviously the
We
age
wouldn't feel bad about it
yeah,
probably
we wouldn't
because
feel
it was
bad about it
normal.
because it's
Right.
well, because the age of everything else was, we wouldn't even be here because we're over 35 right now. You know what I'm saying? We're over 40 years old, so we wouldn't be here. We would have died off already.
Okay.
So because of that, that's why the age. But to think that the young person back then was faced with the decision of marriage for the rest of their life by the time they were 13, and that doesn't happen in today until you're out of high school and college, 20 something years old. That's when you're thinking about getting married. So you're literally 13 back then was 20 something now. So the human that we are now, that's making us feel bad because ain't no way in hell my 13-year-old nephew can go out here and get married right now. He's 13. He's a kid.
Do
You
you
know what I mean? And
believe
ain't no way I
that?
would have been doing this
Do
at
you?
13, getting
Okay.
married.
So okay, I can get with that. Oh, okay. So you, everybody in the
Now,
chat,
but
whoever's
if I was
listening.
born 100,000 years ago, yeah.
So to you and everybody listening, and those who may catch the replay, do you believe that the longer that us as humans are able to stretch life, the more adjustments we need to make on age consent? Like, for example, if we're able to actually get to the point where vitality is at the point of the average grandparent passes away at 112, should we raise the age consent to be 25?
Well, everything that's age,
You know what I'm
well,
saying?
everything
Like,
that's
or should it
biblically,
just stay the exact same? You know what I mean?
well, I think it should stay where it's at based on, I don't think like how they were saying it was strictly based on puberty. Well, that varies between 10 and, 10 and 17 for some people, So
My
you can't
grandparents
very
got
well think
married
a
at 19 and
10-year-old
17.
because the age of consent for your grandparents are mine too. They were young like that. So even my great grandparents, and they were Indians, so there was no record of them doing anything they were doing because everything was on a reservation. So but that was, they weren't. I not to say they weren't expected to live that long, but what'd you say? No, stories of predator behavior. No, but to even think like the age that they were only expected to be living, we outlived them to even change that to say now the same age should apply. I don't know, because now we live twice as long as they did, right? But I don't
No.
think.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
look,
we're
my
living
point.
twice as long. So I'm just trying to give it a gauge. So so
You
everybody
good.
that's watching,
You good.
that's
You
listening,
good. You
can kind
good.
of follow to say if we're
Okay.
living prospectively twice as long, right? So this is the average person lived to be 40 back then, but now the average person lived to be 80, right? Just to give it a solid number. And so because they lived to be 40, they started life early, right? So by the time they were, we'll say 15, they were married and had a child. Now, twice as long as 15 is 30, which is about right now. So age of consent at 25, no, but the age of consent to raise it to equal it out to higher than 15, higher 16. I mean, like I said on the show the other night, you wouldn't give a 16-year-old the keys of your car because you know they're going to tear up some shit. But you're going to give them the right to be married?
Well,
Marriage is a
no.
bigger responsibility than driving your car. So I'm saying that to say
Not even just
you
that.
wouldn't,
Not even just that. Real quick, Jen. We can just dead that simply on how possibly can you say they're old enough? So you're telling me not bump that, not me. You're telling me that creep individual, random guy who is 30 something, all right?
Mm-hmm.
His wife, okay, the state they're in, she's 16. He can't take her to a bar, nor can she vote. So you're telling me that they're actually, so we can just dead it right there from you're not even allowed to drink, you can't drive a car, nor are you even allowed to vote. You can't have nothing in your name without a parental guardian consent. Now, I don't know,
The
maybe
whole
they have it
guardian
set
is
up.
crazy.
maybe they have it set up to where the husband that you have is now the legal guardian on some weird stuff, right? I don't know. They probably do.
How you can't
But
do that? You can't be the guardian and the husband. No, one cancels out each other. That's crazy.
if you're able to be emancipated from your peoples and your husband becomes your, I don't see why
You don't
they
need a
wouldn't.
guardian for emancipation. You are emancipated. You're an adult. Emancipation expedites your adulthood, your adult life. So when
You
you
got a
ask
point
for
there.
that
No, you got a point.
emancipation legally it says you are now equivalent to an 18-year-old. You're out there.
I mean, I'm just, you got me right there. I give you that. I'm just saying.
So you
as
don't
far as-
transfer it from your one guardian, from your parents to another guardian, and still be a
Right.
kid. Someone's still taking care of you. As in, when you emancipate, you're on no one's taxes. You're on your own taxes. You're on your own everything. You can't go back and be like on your mom's taxes because you're still a kid.
Right.
No, that's what your emancipation does. It takes you away from, it separates you from your family. So you don't have no guardian. You are a full grown adult. But that it's not easy to get emancipated. They have to. It's a process. It's so a crazy, dumb process because they encourage you to stay home and go to therapy and try to work it out. So they make you kind of go through a little bit to get emancipated. In some states, it might be, But I know for the people that I know that did it, I mean, it was, it took months for them to get fully like, yeah, I'm on my own now. And they had to go do everything. They got to get their own food. They got to find a place to live. No, you are not a kid.
Right. So, I mean, my whole thing is that's why I look at it as very odd, and I look at it as strictly for predatory factors. If that teenager who is 16, 15 years old, and you're saying you can be emancipated from your parents, you are grown enough to get married to this 35, 40-year-old creep. But when y'all go to Ruby Tuesdays or y'all go out, you can only get the iced tea. He can get the Long Island. Okay?
Shit, you gotta have a dry table.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Hold on.
I can't get nothing because you ain't old enough. Get your ass over there.
On top of that, you better be there for her graduation because she ain't done yet. You need to help her with her homework, okay?
That's what I'm saying. When Lucky was like, your girlfriend got a backpack.
And you imagine.
Everybody, oh, she ain't got a backpack. Nigga, your girlfriend got a backpack. She got to go to graduation.
You got to take her to prom. You got to take her to prom. Okay, you 40 years old, you taking her to prom. And it's, because the only time I've ever done something like that was one time. It was called a daddy-daughter dance. That's right. And she was like, I think in second grade. It was so cute. Oh man, I love that. Yeah, I did.
Well, in Afghanistan, unfortunately, I said the name. In Afghanistan, they're now trying to, we're gonna draw it back in. They're gonna now trying to abolish the right age of consent together. But currently, their age of consent is 9. So a whole bunch of weddings is happening to these young girls, and it's looking like a bunch of daddy-daughter dances right now. It's crazy. And they're going kicking and screaming. I don't want to show that video because that's traumatizing, because these little girls are like being ripped from their parents. The parents are trying to push them off, and the little girls are trying to hold on, and the husband is dragging them. And then they're sitting there crying like 9-year-old little kids going, to get married to this grown-ass man.
Well, see, the thing about it is also as well, you're also talking about countries, like I said, the laws, if any at all. Like, again, those are the places. Do you think over there in Pakistan there's such thing as like a CPS? Like, really? Do you think they really have that over there? Do you really think they have like a battered women's shelters over there in those countries? No, they don't. So you got to think about even down to the location and the law factor, and that's what really makes it dangerous. So even though, yes, it goes down over here, I think most people would be able to agree, if it is going to happen, which evil's going to happen on planet Earth, is all I'm saying, period. I mean, it's at least better to be somewhere where you can get some form, like you can file something called a lawsuit. Them kids over there can't.
You can go for help.
There's There's nothing to go. There's no program.
Nowhere to go
no
to.
Nothing. It just
But
happens, and
this
that's it.
opens up
That's
on the
terrible.
question that they were having earlier, where Cynthia G put out like, I guess she was being more specific to Black women because she asked if Black women were more protected by the men of the system. I mean, now when you think about little Black girls, a little, young little, just open it back up to just, are women more protected? Are girls more protected by the other humans, or better off protected by the system? In some systems, no, they're more protected by the humans, because in stuff like this, the system is set up for you to not be protected as a little young person, young girl, right? Because if I want to, if my pastor is telling everybody the Isaac and Rebecca story, then no child is safe in that sanctuary. And that's a system that's already set up, right? What are you smacking on?
Candy's good. I ain't gonna, man. Listen,
See,
it's rare.
my
Nah,
dog
listen,
is
listen. Let me
snoring.
tell you. It's rare,
I'm
right?
about to
I
get up
like
and get my apple bites, my apple pie bites,
every
because I
so
have these little
every so
fried
often,
apple
like
pie.
because I'm older now, and it's like I don't be getting sweet tooth like that. But it's like
You
here,
be you be needing something to suck on. You all nasty.
man, shut up. When I do get a sweet tooth, it's like, man, it's yeah, it's
You know what
bad.
I
It's
found that
bad.
I like, that I've been loving in my whole life? It's carrot cake. Child, I got me the best carrot cake muffin from Tim Hortons.
You talking
I'm
about that
love.
icing on the
I
top?
can't.
That icing on the top?
Oh, the
So
Tim Horton muffin, the carrot cake, the icing's in the middle. Stop.
it's almost like a ginger cinnamon like muffin. That shit, bro.
With the
Listen,
raisin
right?
and the carrots in it.
Nah, no raisins,
Mm-hmm.
Karen. No raisins, Karen. I'm gonna tell you right
It's
now,
raisins and
like,
carrot cake.
let me tell you my
Oh, what's that?
ultimate, like my ultimate go to. It never fails. I'm gonna crush the entire bag, and I always got to get a family size bag. Peanut
Family.
M&M. Yeah, peanut M&Ms.
What?
I
Why
gotta
don't
get
they
it.
just make one big M&M for y'all people like that? Because what do you need
I
a
got it.
family size for?
I need it
That is so
because
much.
anything. Listen, Kings. Listen. When I upgraded to king size, I realized one day that wasn't enough. Nah, like I need that zip up. I need the zip up bag. I need that bag with the zip
King
up on it.
size wasn't enough. That's something else. You need to
Yeah,
call
nah,
M&M. You know you
king
can buy.
size is not
You can get
enough.
the more packs. Because I had like that. I was like that with a gummy bear. Because I was like, I cannot find a gummy
Herringbone
bear,
all day. Herringbone.
but
Herringbone.
I couldn't find a bag bigger than the bag that you find at the candy store. So I went online, and you can get a box of like 1,000 gummy bears.
Man, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Do you know how many gummy bears that is? They went stale because I couldn't eat them fast enough.
Them
It was so good.
herringbone. Them herringbone.
Haribo.
Now, back in the day, real quick while we sidetrack before we get back on track. I used to. I don't like the Coca-Cola bottles no more. I used to.
Ew, them wax candies.
Nah, I'm talking. No, it's gummy.
The
Not the
Coca-Cola
gummy.
bottles is wax candy. Oh, the gummies like that.
The gummy.
Oh,
The gummy
I know what you're talking
Coca-Cola
about.
bottles.
I know what
Nah,
you're talking
not
about.
no more. Not no more. I don't know. But to this day,
That's like they
man,
taste like Swedish fish. They're too like they give me
man,
that same Swedish fish
man.
vibe. Yeah,
To this
I hate
to
Swedish
this
fish.
day, me personally, them what's that? The herringbone. Um,
Haribo.
yeah, herringbone. The herringbone. Cherries.
Herringbone's a necklace.
The cherries. Oh my gosh, I
The
love
cherries
them,
are
John.
good.
I love the cherries. Yeah, that's my junk. Like I don't know.
You know what I
And
love still?
now hold on. Last but not least. Now this is what I do personally. I don't know why. I gotta put them in the refrigerator. Yep.
Who? The gummy bears?
Yep. Same thing with my M&Ms. Yep. Anytime I get candy like chocolates and stuff, I put them in the fridge.
They won't melt.
I don't know. I like them cold. I don't know. Like say I get like a bag of like Snicker bites or like Reese cup, like Kit Kat, like right
Oh,
here.
I
I
can't do
got
that. It's too hard.
like right here.
I can't.
I'll put
I
them in the
can't do
freezer.
hard chocolate in my mouth.
Go and get back to the video, Jen. I digress.
I'm just saying, for the putting them in the refrigerator, I can't do that. It's too hard. That's too much hardness in my mouth. I like my chocolate room temperature. I forgot all about that. I'm looking at your face like, what's wrong with him? Why he not?
Nah, you good.
I'm sorry.
You good. You good. You good. I'll explain it later.
Face just got offended.
I'll explain
You're
it
like,
later.
offended. Captain, I'm offended.
You good.
I'm sorry. I really don't give a damn. Y'all, Smitty, all his parts work, y'all. If y'all, just in case y'all forgot about the interview, everything's working on Smitty. He is a dark chocolate drop. I'm pretty sure if there was any women out there that was interested in Smitty, he likes his M&Ms to be cold, y'all. So just for the record, I'm just letting y'all know. I was not talking about Smitty because I like my chocolate room temperature. So there you go. If y'all want, y'all can reach him at 1-800 Smitty in the refrigerator. Okay, so I was talking about the chocolate I like. Okay, I was saying the chocolate I like.
After the show. We're gonna talk after the show.
No, we're not.
Go ahead.
Your phone about to be lit up. Smitty after dark. 1-800 Smitty in the fridge. So, but I'm talking about the chocolate I like. I like my room temperature. And anybody out there that's offended, if you room temperature chocolate, that's what's up. Hey, shout out to you. So I can't do all that cold in my mouth. It's just too hard. I can't do all that.
There we go, bruh. Come on. So
it is what it is. It is what it is. Y'all should already know it's after dark. The sun been went down. I don't know why y'all act like y'all come over here and I'm gonna be good the entire time. I never signed up for that.
You know what?
I never signed up for none of that.
You're right about that.
No one ever said go over to Genesis and if you're a man, you just better watch out. No. Nobody ever told y'all that. So if wherever they go and y'all go over there. Otherwise, I'm gonna talk about your gray sweatpants.
She just went in.
I'm just gonna say, cause what I'm supposed to do, but okay. And I'm not gonna surround myself with a bunch of ugly folks just so that anybody else around me can feel okay about it. I don't feel like being around ugly people. So if the men around me are handsome and they, room temperature chocolate drops, they're fine. I'm sorry if they in the refrigerator chocolate.
No. This is room temperature rat face chocolate. This is room temperature. This is room temperature rat face chocolate.
Oh, I forgot about that rat face. Why is he obsessed? Nightish. He in the chat. Come up here and tell me why you are obsessed. Why you love. He said, well, what did I step into?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
You don't want to know why he love you? He just love you. I think he wants to be a rat face, whatever he call it. I don't like that. Don't say that. Don't come over here saying it. Say it on your timeline.
Genesis is saying that shit. Smitty didn't say it.
Say what? I don't like it. You brought up the rat face. That's why I said it. Otherwise, I would have never said that. Because it's funny.
Nah. I only brought it up because of what you said. But go ahead, keep on going. That was just a message.
You didn't see him in the chat. That's why you said it.
He said, "I ain't gonna do it." Yeah.
You didn't. I thought you said that because you saw him in the chat.
Of course.
Okay, well, that's what I thought it was. What was happening? I'm slow sometimes, y'all. I have learned that as I got older, I do not really be caring about what's going on around me. So my reactions may be completely unwarranted, and be like, "What? That was 5 minutes ago." Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when it happened for me too. That's when it happened for me too. 5 minutes ago.
I ain't mad at it.
DJ Music, we were talking about the age of consent. It was a really good, productive 2-3 hours of breaking down, just looking into how the age of consent, I guess to kind of put a recap on it. So what we learned today, y'all, was what? The age of consent been around forever. How you? I'm
So
about
now
to
that I
drop
think
you.
about it,
Interrupt the
now
fuck
that I
me
think
one more
about it,
time.
right? I think about it, right? What?
Did y'all hear me say if he interrupt me one more time?
Oh, me?
Yeah, because I was talking.
My bad.
Go ahead, since you thought what your thought was more important than my words.
I was looking down. I wasn't. My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad.
I did drop the link for Nightish because I saw
I
you in the
will. I
chat and
will. I
DJ
will
Music
remember what
come
I
up
want to
here.
add. I'll
Go
remember what I want to
ahead.
add.
I did drop the link for DJ Music because I
Oh,
did invite
okay.
him
I was wondering
before.
what because he is country. What state is Shannon Sharp from?
I think he Mississippi, but even still, Mississippi again. This is what we was just saying. It don't matter because remember after 1999, the states in the United States leveled out. So him talking to a 19-year-old, he was even if he said, "Well, that's how they do it in my neck of the woods."
That's what I'm
Well,
saying. That's what
that
I'm
would have
saying.
had even still. What was Mississippi? The map's still right here. I'm about to tell you. I'm about to show you. Right, the map's still right here, baby. I ain't went. My map ain't went. Well, it didn't go nowhere. But
You see what I'm saying?
let me say right here. Shout out to Nightish. Thanks for the song, man. This is my background banker. So even if we wanted to argue that every time you bring that up, anyone can bring that up, but anyone past, okay, because past 1890, past 1920. So from 1920 to 1999, the age of consent leveled out to just weed. Because remember, we heard him say earlier was because of the fact that they just after they initiated the Canaan law in the Catholic religion, that kind of put it into a window. But then the humans said, okay, let's just make it across the board so that we won't be infringing upon any type of PDF laws or anything that would actually be a child. So to level it out, by the time you get 16, you can pretty much have a good idea what you want to do with yourself. You can think through your own thoughts. You're still not grown, but you're better off than being 12. But even still, if you were to say that in 2014, by the time 2014 came, it was leveled out to being 16 to 18. So when you want to, Shannon Sharp could say, well, back when I was a kid, you could have talked to a 16 because where he was from, Mississippi. So down in Mississippi, the age of consent is 16. So he could say that because that girl's old enough. She was 19 at 50. But remember I said that earlier, Smitty. I said, me at 50 talking to a 20-year-old, folks is going to look at me like I'm trying to manipulate this 20-year-old, which how do you manipulate a whole nother adult? You know,
Right.
but me at 50 talking to a 17-year-old, even that 20-year-old, me talking to a 19-year-old at 50 would be looked at as me manipulating a child. But me talking to a 20-year-old, I'm just putting a whammy on another adult. So, you know what I'm saying? So when I said that, I was like, oh, the guy that was trying to talk to me, he was kind of young. He wasn't even 30 years old yet. Oh, Genesis, you know, doing the Shannon Sharp. I'm like, well, he wasn't 30 yet. He was 20-something. That's too young. You're 50. So yeah, this has been forever, and that's why I thought it was strange that we're arguing something so archaic, something that was just now that I've seen this much information, and something that's literally biblical, and it's not even biblical just to be like, well, that's just us. No, Catholics, obviously, Muslim, obviously. What was that guy speaking Hebrew? He was outright.
Small hat.
Small hats. So the small hats, obviously
Orthodox small hat.
Orthodox
Just
small
to be
hats,
all
and
the way.
obviously
Yes.
Christians been believing this since beginning of time. Catholics been believing in this since the beginning of time. So us arguing it in man's law is us just putting sort of a regulation. So now, of course, coming forward,
No,
they're
a
going to say,
bias.
hey,
A bias.
put a bias on what?
No. When you said a regulation, I would say no. I would call that more of just me. I would say that's more
More
of
than
a
a
bias.
bias?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Because if it's all over and everybody want to point fingers, well, you did this, well, y'all culture, well, what your religion, and
Everybody
it's a
culture is just bad
bias.
about it. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's a
Because
bias.
you're
Go
going to
ahead,
sit there
though.
and say, well, your culture is 16. Well, oh, well, you did it too, but your culture is 17. So we're not better than me. Like, what is that? You know what I mean?
Your
Your
culture
culture is
says
your culture.
toddlers. I mean,
You're
you
right.
know,
No,
I mean,
like,
and we could
no,
just go on and on. You know.
no. That can't be. That couldn't be right. I'm hoping that another video surfaces, and that's not even like a literal translation. But for all those who understood him, I hope that's crazy. To have intercourse with a 3-year-old because
You
you're not
ain't
gonna
gotta hope
remember
that's
it.
crazy. It is. It is crazy. You ain't gotta
Well, I'm
hope it is.
saying I'm
It
hoping that's not
is.
like to have sex with a 3-year-old. Nidish, what do you think about that? I wanted to,
Oh.
Nidish be having some thoughts. Well,
To
about
have
what?
inappropriate relations.
With a 3-year-old, because they're not gonna remember
'Cause we don't
past
know,
that
nah, because
anyway.
YouTube funny. YouTube funny, Jen. YouTube funny. Just let's be safe. I'm streaming with you. Yeah. To have inappropriate relations. Because I don't trust these people. They wild.
Hmm.
They petty. They are very petty.
Well, you say intercourse, so they have intercourse.
Um
Hmm. That's crazy.
See, the thing about it is though that um we have to recognize
And how
that
do you
this
know to
is
grow back?
now wait. Is this because this is actually what should be, or is this truly based upon what I guess you can say biblical principles are? Like what, you know what I'm saying? Like so I mean, think about it. Everything that like we are talking about when it comes to this comes from some form of, it came from that um historical book of a specific religion. Honestly, that is where a lot of it's coming from. I'm not saying religion's bad. I'm not telling people, because look, I have my own, if you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? I call it a lifestyle, but it's under the category of religion. So I get it. My whole thing is that it's 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 something that's conflicting with how man should move today.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like it really is. It's conflicting with it. It's actually something that's like that's we're still holding. Like, for example, I spoke about this before, how there's a law that still says certain states you can't leave a pie in your window. It's illegal. You can get fined for it because it can attract wild animals to your house. And if you get mauled by a bear, you can't sue the state. So they just made it illegal to put food in your window. So you know that old school Looney Tunes or cartoon scene of putting a pie in a window? You can't do that.
Hmm.
That is actually still in the law books to this very day. But would anybody really get arrested for it? No. So it's almost like one of them things where it's so old, believe it or not, although the
Hmm.
moral standard, right? Us as the people, the moral standard is there, but the actual like legal standard in the books, that's why so many of them get released. That's why To Catch a Predator had endless seasons. That's
Hmm.
why even that dude Gideon or whatever, he's even and there's so many. It's like it's endless. They got a whole freaking place in, I think, New Mexico, that's like a whole neighborhood strictly for PDF files being released, so they have somewhere that they can go live. They have to register and everything else. A lot of us don't realize there are damn near just as many people who are registered right around the corner from us in our own community than there are actual people who aren't. It's rampant.
Hmm.
And again, it's because this is the melting pot. To land it, this is the melting pot. And I believe that you know what I want to look at, Jen? Right here. This is where I'm landing it. Those countries that said like 18, stuff like that. I want to know the countries that have the older age consent and it's just mainly strictly, if you go there, it's primarily the people from there. It's not a country like this right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what is the ratio of that happens over in those countries as opposed to here. Like, for example, if you go to a country where it's basically all of their people and that is the law, would it be lower than here where you can have that to be the law, but if anybody from in any and everywhere is coming all into here, that's going to like skew it, that's going to dilute it. Do you see what I'm saying?
You saying because if everybody, you said for the higher ages.
She's stuffing her face, ladies and gentlemen. So
I'm
listen,
sorry, I was eating my carrot cake.
I'm not mad. All right, so listen. All right, so I'm gonna say it again. The countries that are primarily, all right, so say you take here, a lot of states, 18. You take a country that primarily, that country is consisted of all of the people that are from there. There aren't that many outsiders that are in that country. Would you say that the probability of that happening would be lower, considering you don't have the influence of other cultures coming all in to that country? Even though we have the law in place, because we have so many people from countries where it is 14, 16, 15 and lower and everything else, and all religions are, here and all of that, I believe that's the main problem. If you went to a country that is just them, this is our religion, this is like 90, 80 some odd, 70 some odd percent of the people are us, it is controlled by us that are from here, I believe that would be lowered, is my point. Because it's the less of the influence. That's just basically where I'm at. I'm not trying to be long-winded with it, but I'm just
Now we don't have the influence over those countries that we don't have influence over right now, and they still have. And then you're saying it correlate with it being higher, as in like the 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds, as opposed to 15 and 16.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
I don't know if that has anything to do so much. I don't know if that would have so much to do with it, being that it would, because you're gonna.
Really?
I mean, I'm saying as far as them being from the difference being 15. I mean, you're still. So you're so. I don't know.
All right, so Jen,
I don't know. I don't know.
Can you do me a favor, Jen?
What?
Because we're talking about, young girls and stuff, and
no, I'm just saying that I don't know if you're gonna say if you're saying like 15, 16, like the places that have the higher age requirements, you're saying that it could be happening less. Them being paired up or being.
That's all. I mean, no. Listen.
I don't know if it has anything.
I'm wondering. It's a like. I'm wondering. Like, now that I think about it, if you went to a country,
the fact that it's all them, the people that are
it's
having
less
conversations about it now it's
right.
all them, and they're not being influenced by anybody. It's only when other people come to those countries or they come here. And they bring that same part of their culture here, or we're exposed to their culture, is when other people are. So the idea of them just being like, remember the movie The Village? There was all like everybody was just there within each other, and everybody was mixing with each other. So the whole idea of them they're already doing that. That's what the Bible was. That's what it was saying with the whole Catholicism and the small hats. They're already doing that. There's nothing wrong with it because they're staying within their own little confines of each other. So it's not happening less. It's we don't know about it. Other people don't know outside of their little village, outside of that little community. Nobody knows what's going on until they find out what's going on. I think that's where we are now with the fact that that what this small hat man rabbi said. And, you heard what the Catholic man said, that that's just how it's been in our community for a long time until, and then the Canaan law was implemented and then it changed. So, and, of course, obviously with Christianity, it's been the age of reasoning since it's been like that since the beginning of time as well. So us, having our own little pod of it happening, of us working with, operating within each other, that's been that way. So I don't think that's a catalyst for anything. But you're saying, and then the fact that the age is higher, instead of a 15-year-old, you make them wait till they're 18 to do all this. I don't know how much that, because there's still I think that has something to do with the pairing up of the age and the age gap at that point. So just because you're 18 doesn't mean you're just closer to you're 2 years older than you were. But the man, that might also affect how much older he is. You know what I mean? That might change. Oh, well, now that you're 18, you could get with, because before some places are, like I said, some places that's where the 33 came in or the 35 came into place, where they were saying, oh, if she's 16, he's 30, but he can't be like 45. That's too weird. So you raise it. Now you got those 45, you know what I'm saying? Now that part might be affected. Like it might domino effect to the raising of the men who were, with the younger girls or the younger person. Now it might not look so weird, as opposed to, like I said, like you go over to those countries where 14 is the minimum age, and you tell them you want to hook you up with a 12-year-old, they might think you're nasty, and they might want to stone you because that's frowned upon. You know what I mean? So that I think that raising the age doesn't change anything on it might even affect the age of the men that are choosing those young girls. As opposed to where it might not have had any, it might not have been okay. Because I'm just saying, if they put a cap on and they're like 33 is just old enough for a 16-year-old, now you telling me I could put a 50-year-old with an 18-year-old, you know what I mean? Because we want to, the age matters. I don't think that has anything. I think just the whole idea of it and how it's been here forever. So I don't know why we're arguing about it. Or why I prefer there to be more conversations of trying to understand it, or trying to understand what folks are trying to, how the map folks are trying to maneuver and use it, because they're also trying to use, not to deviate from, but they're also trying to use the idea that homosexuality or any type of sexual deviancy is a natural born God, the way God created you, because they're trying to lean into how God don't make no mistakes, right? So they're kind of put that with religion, which comes back to this. Well, see how God said he don't make no mistakes, so he created me to love children. So you know what I mean? So I think should be more the conversation of what people are doing with it and how folks are, like the article the video we saw, how they can kind of maneuver their deviancy in between. Well, she is 14. I'm not doing nothing wrong. You know what I mean? Instead of I'm 45 and she's 14. Well, I can just wait till she gets to be 16. I can marry her. You're going to be 50 then. That's going to still be crazy.
Well, let me ask you this question before I get ready to get up out of here in a moment. Me and you were both hip. We're both up to date on things that's going on out here. I'm late on this, right? But I just want to know, what are your thoughts about this right here? Because there are a lot of folks who actually believe that they're playing in our face, right? So, what's your thoughts?
All right. Well, his name is Palm Beach Pete, and we had to meet him ourselves. Pete, thank you so much for joining us. Great to meet you, at least on television. So, of course, we have to ask you, are you Jeffrey Epstein?
I am not, but thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. I'm Palm Beach Pete, living my life. I'm retired. I'm 71 years old. How many people at my age get to hang out with young kids, influencers, and really enjoy the journey? So that's what's happening in my life right now, Tatum.
I get to hang out with young kids.
So Palm Beach Pete, you talked about,
I would have never.
You never would have thought this would happen, right?
Correct.
So you talked about previously,
It's
you just
just
like to play tennis. You like to go around West Palm Beach. The weather's great. You just mentioned the podcasters, but
yes.
how has your life changed since you became famous for maybe not the best reason?
Well, I live in Palm Beach, and I do go to West Palm and Palm Beach Beach. And my analogy is, when I went to sleep, I worried how many times I had to go to the bathroom at night. Now I worry about how many eyeballs are looking at my social media platforms. That's what's keeping me up at night, Katie.
Well, you got to make sure you get ready now every day because you're so famous. People are going around trying to get pictures of you in Palm Beach. When was the first time you remember being mistaken for him? Did this start on the internet or did this start in person somewhere?
No, it started prior. He was in the news, but he wasn't infamous like he was when he got arrested. And
wait,
he was
is
in the
that
newspapers,
Epstein
and I
or
saw
was one of
similarity.
it is Pete?
Yeah, that's they're trying. You see, yeah, they're
Right,
trying
was
to say
Epstein and one
that's
Pete, or is it both Epstein?
No, the one on the right. On the right is supposed to be the actual Epstein. The one on the, you see what I'm saying? So first of all, for the fact that you had to even ask that question, you had to ask. So the one on the right, from what we're looking at the screen, the one on the right is supposed to be Epstein, and the one on the left is supposed to be him, you know, when he's been going around doing interviews and stuff. Ignorant says that's him.
No.
I don't know. I don't know.
Does anyone have a sound? What's Epstein's voice sound like?
That's what you know what?
No.
That's what I need.
You need to see, what does his voice sound like? What is Epstein's voice? Was his voice deeper? Because, but then they can do, I mean, hell, they went out and he sounds like him, ignorant. Okay, well, no.
One second.
But then, I mean, I get it. You can hide.
All right. So watch this.
And right in plain sight.
Pull this up. Let's go right here.
No, that's crazy, yo.
So go right here.
That's
No. Because that was real good. That was good that you actually asked that question. So let's go ahead and listen to his voice and let's see.
Hold on. That's crazy. He said he sounds like that guy.
Jen, pull the video up. There we go. Let's listen to his voice.
Let me give you that. I know in my case, is your money dirty money? If you live, I just asked a question. Is your money dirty money? No, it's not. So, in fact, why is it not dirty money? Because I earned it. But you earned it. I earned it legally. We went back to this before. You earned it. You earned it advising the worst people in the world, right? That do enormous bad things, and just to make more money. So, instead of asking me the question, should you take the money? Because I think it's a legitimate question. Do you think it's a legitimate?
What do you think?
Yeah, his voice.
Yeah. What do you think? I won't play too much because I don't of that one in particular because I don't want to.
Nobody get no damn about no damn Epstein.
No. I'm talking about, like, I don't know if you say they sound alike to you, ignorant.
They do sound alike. Yeah.
They really do? Are you
just
serious?
Now? Play the other guy again.
All right, hold on. Here we go. I got you right here. Here we go. Hold on. So when you saw him, let me go ahead, go right here. I'm about to pull it up right now. Here we go. I got something for you. Here we go right there. Boom. Here we go right here. Here we go right here. Let me go ahead. Fast forward. Boom. And this is him. Pull this up, Jen.
For that same video that you had where he was talking.
Here we go. Pull this up.
This whole thing is a phenomenal. I'm driving down I-95, minding my own business, and some knucklehead films me, and the next thing I know, my phone is blowing up.
It's just blowing up.
Blown up.
I'm gonna be honest.
Out of control.
I don't think Epstein killed himself, so I'm kind of skeptical. You got it both from West Palm Beach. You got it both Jewish.
Hold on, there he is from West Palm Beach as well.
Mm-hmm. Even the cadences is
I
insane. How they
didn't know
talk.
that part about. I haven't been following the Epstein thing. I didn't know that about him. I didn't.
And all he gotta do. That's just like you trying to sound like me. If you would have motion your voice to try to sound like mine, you'd be like, "This is how Jen sounds."
Jen,
It would be
Jen.
it would just be a softer version of your voice. Like, no, I'm not finna go for the you done changed the word Fruit Loops right here in front of my face when it's been the same. Ain't no. I'm not going for the GIF. That was never a Jiffy. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not going for that. That's not. Where's the autopsy pictures of Epstein?
So I'm skeptical about everything, but I'll let you guys continue.
They said, "Are you the guy that went viral on the internet?" I said, "Yep, that's." Has a
Here we go.
Instagram account,
Hold on.
and he posted me on the account, and he has like over 1 million followers. So that happened. And then I was in the background of the episode of the New York Housewives, and one of the housewives kissed me hello, and then a Generation Zer was. Go ahead.
No, yeah. I wanted to. Sorry to interrupt you there because we do have all this stuff. Like just to make it clear.
So what? You think he got some minor surgery or something, or
surgery? He looks the same. Come on, Ignat. What surgery? Ignat, what surgery did he get? He got his own face put on himself?
No.
He got a face job.
I asked that question.
I know. That's why I highlighted. He said, no, that's him. He said, bro. And I said, what, he got a face job?
Everybody at home. This isn't the first.
His own face put on his own face? What did you do to yourself that made you... You would have to not look like you when you're done of surgery. The idea with that would be to not look like yourself. And he looks a lot. Come on now. Did you just say that? Because as the more I'm thinking about it, as you said it, I'm gonna go. So what would be the reason to have surgery? I would want to not look like this nigga the most as possible.
That's funny.
I would never want to look like this nigga. So far from not looking like him. If I had the money to change my face and I was that nigga dude, I would want to look like anything but make me a black man. At its intents and purpose, make me a woman, a black woman. Looks her all the way opposite of a white old Jewish man. Make me the opposite of everybody. What's the opposite of everybody? So, you know what I'm saying? Please help me out. I can't do that. That's
So you really believe it's him? You think it's him as well?
I think that's him, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. Did you see? Look, I don't want to turn the show into a did you see? But did you see that Lego dropped a video about how what was stolen from black people? Lego dropped the video about it. You know, Lego do a whole video. It's crazy. Knowing who in the world comes up with this stuff. I love it though. Yeah, let's get a workout in.
What kind of grasshopper?
Jen.
What's up? What was he doing?
Jen, please.
You auditioning to be in a Bug's Life? What are you doing?
Hey, Jen, please.
What was he doing? Wait.
Please,
Kind of grass.
Wait. Look at the next one though. The next one had me gone.
Listen, I'm not racist.
On my life, you good. On nation. I promise you ain't the only one that. And we ain't see shit either. You don't gotta say you ain't racist. We ain't see shit either. All I seen was feet. White feet. I ain't see no type of black man there. Yeah, he was skating though, wasn't it? That boy was running like he was running from. I don't know who he running from. Yeah, that thing got wheels, don't it?
That man said, I want to be racist, but because we didn't see him. I didn't see him at first either. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't see him at first. Did you see him at first?
No.
Listen, I'm not racist. On my life, you good.
Oh, y'all. I can't. At least I had to end it with a laugh because that's crazy. Nobody see him coming. That's for sure. Oh, if I ever go to the gym and I see somebody working out like that, I'm going to hear myself laughing so hard. Because that would be funny. And I would so record it. That'd be so crazy.
Let me go ahead and
that was funny.
Get my final words on this one. As always, awesome, great show, fam. You already know. But I still do hold very, very dearly to what I believe that the true, not saying that you disagree, just whoever may be listening. I hold dearly to what I was saying earlier on. I believe it's more about the endless mixture of any and everybody's culture. And I believe if you notice, so many other folks from places be fighting so hard to like really have their stamp in our laws. And who knows how much of all kinds of stuff that's probably worse than that that's trying to be brought into the circumstance. If America already has its own flaws, I would say the last thing that we need is to have our stuff going on and to have everybody else stuff. You know.
Oh, dude, you was out of there. You know what? No one heard you.
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you, but you was silent. I was like, oh, hello.
Oh, nah. I don't know. Maybe my thing went out. Nah, I just been talking. So all I'm saying, okay, so to land, to make it quick before we go out again, when it comes to other places being over here, I believe that is the number one reason why we have such a huge problem with the trafficking, everything, all of it, everything that's involved with it. I believe a lot of that has to do with because when you got other cultures and people fighting so hard to have their culture incorporated into our laws, as opposed to just like being citizens here only, in our laws are our laws. Like if you go to Japan, their laws are their laws. You can just be a citizen. That's it. You're not going over there throwing up your flag, nothing, none of that. No, it ain't not having that. You can just go over there and you're gonna respect what it is over there that they got going on. So I'm just saying now it's starting to slowly loosen up over there too. But you get what I mean. But I digress. My mic is muted. I believe it's going to be exactly what it is, and it's only going to get worse the more that we keep on incorporating other people's cultures into what it is we got going on. Rock out, Jen.
Oh, well, I bear similar sentiment. I don't necessarily not agree, but okay. But yeah, I think that now that I see more of this, I don't know. I'm thinking differently about how we were thinking about it before. I don't think the argument is valid so far, because I don't think when we're talking about, grown men shouldn't be with kids, we're not talking about what this rabbi just said. You know what I mean? So I think, yeah, the idea of not to disrespect other cultures, but the whole melting pot in its entirety and totality, the melting pot, everything can't melt into the pot, everything can't go into the gumbo. It's only the essential agreements. So, I think that I think that with the example of, I shout out to Sharon over even in China right now. Like, he has two extreme cultures, right? His wife is Russian and he's African American. Or even then, I think he's like, a little bit of island and Caribbean or Jamaican or whatever. Even then, he is still can't just go over there and start cooking up oxtails, and she can't go over there and his wife can't go over there and implement all of these customs from her country into their country because they don't allow it, right? And that in order for them to exist in that country in peace right now, which they would have to kind of abide to what within reason of implementing their culture, bringing it. Do as I mean, and even that's in the Bible. Freaking when in Rome and do as the Romans do, even not said that's in the Bible verbatim, but even they did it.
No. It is. It's just called and even in the book that I subscribe to, it's just called Law of the Land. When you
law
obey
of the
like
land.
it is. Yeah, you obey the law of the land. Wherever you go, like you're supposed to. If you're really abiding by what you believe in, obey the law of the land. Why? Because when they come over here, you want them to do that when they come over
obey
on
the
your
law
side.
of the land. Right.
Obey the law of the land. So that's why you give it, so you receive it.
So I mean, that's why you made me lose my train of thought on that. So I guess that was more so my final word about it. Because again, with that even being in the Bible, what I've learned was what it was the question that I was having while everybody was talking about this was coming to becoming answered in this conversation, in this video, in this research. I think it's excellent to even research something because you find out more about it, and thank God to ChatGPT and all this out here now. It kind of like bypasses and loops you into certain information to where now you can just kind of compare things at your fingertips. And I just thought it was very interesting to see how even in today's time that with the Sharia law and all that's implemented now, I mean, the idea of some people coming here and bringing every single, and I get it. You want to come here and you want to be free because whatever it is in your culture is enabling you, right? It's capturing you. So you're not free there as opposed to being free here. So I just don't think that. I think with that freedom, that it comes there comes some liberties that shouldn't be open to everybody. I guess that's a safe way to say it. And then not to say that, to tell someone, hey, because, you eat crow's feet, you can't come over here. No, but I think I don't necessarily disagree with the doctor with him saying within the rule, weave some of those nuances in there. So yeah, you can't be coming over here within those rules. You need to weave that nuance in there, right? You can say, hey, when you take this citizenship, don't all that marrying kids and having, intercoursing and relations with toddlers, you got to leave that over there because that needs, so if you want to go back to weaving things into the rule, I mean, to answer, shout out to Chanel, answer her question. We don't care about who wrote the rules. We do need to care about who wrote the rules because them folks that wrote the rules are also writing them to open up other, other things and then they work in their favor. So that's what we need to go back to, the rule that said, hey, you can do this. And then to weave that in there, weave the nuances up to the modern time in there, So I don't necessarily disagree with all of it, because I agree with the law, I agree with the rules, and I don't necessarily agree. I'm not agreeing with none of it, but I don't disagree with some of the way it's being handled, and I don't disagree with some of the them trying to think newly about the idea, and I don't disagree with people researching it and learning about it so they know what the hell they're talking about, because these panels are horrible. And I think if somebody just do a simple Google search, you would have found out that the age of consent, and then you would have been realizing that the age of consent as of 2026 is in conversation to be lowered. So while y'all talking about Shannon Sharp and his 19-year-old girlfriend, you need to be worried about the places that that people are going to getting a passport, because they now have changed the age of consent to 14 to 12. So I think that's more of a conversation than some of what we've been doing. So, I think that's more serious, because they're coming over here with that concept saying, hey, I just left Sri Lanka and it's what you saw on that map. Sri Lanka is 13. So why y'all tripping? You like, no, that you can't melt that into the pot. Don't bring that to the pot. Can't bring that to the cookout. So yeah. I think that's where the mandation needs to be happening, right? Back when they're coming to the country and they say, okay, not trying to shit on your customs, but how do y'all feel about this? And if you get an answer that doesn't go with our laws here, that's when you let them know, welcome to Rome. You need to do what Romans do. So I don't know. That's what I think. And shout out to everybody who came through. Shout out to of
You
course,
go ahead
shout out
and
to
land it
Clinical
off.
One.
Yeah, I'm up out of here. Much respect to that. I digress. My mic is muted. Shout out.
There you go. Shout out. Shout out to everybody who came through. Shout out to Cynical One. Shout out to Ignite TV. Shout out to the Nightish. I'm gonna roll through these YouTube streets and see who's up. And shout out to who else was up here tonight. Willing to Win. Of course, you guys always come through. Shout out to Ivy Wody, who always comes through. Oh, shout out to Kojak. Y'all keep a lookout for my next video. I'm gonna be doing another video. We're gonna do another video on the diving into the I don't know. I'm debating it right now. Literally, I'm thinking about if I want to do it tomorrow. I think I have it scheduled. And I'm thinking that I want to maybe, I don't know, y'all. I'd be so indecisive sometimes about it. And then sometimes I'm just tired of just sitting in front of the computer, especially after being on another panel, you know? But hopefully, you know what? I should just be more consistent and get my self up and be on my own show. So I hope you guys liked this video. I hope it was informational. I hope you guys got to see something you didn't know about already. And I hope there was something you learned. Shoot me up in the comments and be like, you know what, Genesis, the age of consent, X, Y, and Z, this is how I feel about it. And you should let me know, you know? I like some of the comments. I read some of the comments. Nightish, you hear your song? Nightish said, bye, y'all. Bye. So I like the comments. I like interacting. So thank you for guys for doing that. Didn't get a Cash App. I don't really ask for them. So it's okay. But I like them when they come. They help, keep the Nissan moving. But yeah, I have another show lined up. I think I have a couple more shows lined up. The Fur Baby show is going to be Sunday, right? And let's see. Hold on, I got it up here, y'all. Oh yeah, the Fur Baby show is going to be on Sunday. And I got a couple other ideas that I wanted to talk about, and I have a couple other things that I wanted to start building content. Oh, I have another show coming up, y'all. The Click Boom show. I don't know. That might be a ladies only, so hopefully I can get some ladies to show up. That'd be cool, because that's kind of a little bit of a, I don't want to do a male bashing, but I kind of want to do a male bashing. I mean, not to bash you guys necessarily, but just some of the stuff y'all do that gets on an absolute nerve. Just, I think as men, I think sometimes that's just healthy to let y'all know. So look out for that one. Again, the Fur Baby show is coming up. Look out for that one. I have a couple other ideas I'm going to mess around and make thumbnails for and dibble dabble in clips and notes for that. And then the whole biblical clarity show. The biblical clarity show, I think I'm going to do something with that more often too. So look out for that. It's going to be that's going to be also in an episode or a series. I don't know how you do this, but I'm going to look it up and figure out if it's an episode or a series or whatever it is. But I like that idea too. I like the biblical clarity. And those of y'all who have a biblical clarity, please come And please engage and please let me know some things, because y'all know I was kicked out of Jehovah's Witnesses and they told me I was going to have to wait till the sweet by and by to talk to Jesus. So yeah, it was a ride. I'm going to turn this up before I leave. And then of course I'm going to play my outro. But I'm definitely going to rock out with this. My final thoughts. Y'all know my final thoughts. Good night, sugars.
Slow wine, no limit. No limit. Whole vibe authentic. Yeah. You don't find this every minute. Yeah. She move like a record on replay, slow. Warm like the summer, but the nights stay cold. Silk on the skin, got the lights down low. Whole room froze when she walked in the door. Ain't loud with it, she subtle and rare. Tight, make a boss man stop and just stare. No games, no front, just truth in the air. Old school energy, you know it's there.
Glad you stayed till the end. Hey, now that we had some time together. Hey, we got to go, but it's not forever. Hey, come back and see me again. You are always welcomed here, my friend. Don't be a stranger, keep coming through. I will always have a spot here for you. Genesis I am is who I'll always be. Honest and full transparency. Keeping it real as real can be. Like, comment, subscribe. Like, if you wanna comment, tell me that you don't mind. Subscribe and tell a friend and tell a friend. Glad you stayed to the end. Spread the word, pass it on, cause we're doing big things with faith and holy guidance. So I'll see you next time. Genesis I am, Audi 5000. Yeah, boy.